Yannis Pappas. Yeah. When you all tucked up in the day belong, and the news online going on and on, what's right and wrong, and it's something up. Now here comes a great kid you know you can trust. From the true who's who, to the news and cameras, to the fake politics and the propaganda. Yeah, this kid screwed in, got a lot to say. Oh shit, it's about to be a long day. It's a long day. It's a long day.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Longdays.
Yeah.
Jared Harvin is here. He's at that stage. It's just great. You show up and, you know, either there's a chair for you or there's not.
Yeah, and it's not a chair for me. I'm sitting on a ottoman right now.
But there is an ottoman for him. So that is good. So we were able to get him a mic and be on here. We're at the Los Angeles Longdays studios. I bought Whitney Cummings' house, and I won it in a settlement, actually, because I stayed here, and I Me Too'd her.
Yes, he did. The dogs weren't included, though.
The dogs were not included. She took those with them. I think she lives with the dogs on the street now.
Yes.
In Venice.
Yes.
But I stayed here. My whole plan was to come here and have her harass me, which she did. I Me Too'd her. I'm very inspired by the Johnny Depp Amber Heard saga.
Oh, yeah.
And so I was able to get millions of dollars from her. And now this is my house and my studio.
Yeah.
And she works for me. She's brought us drinks.
I brought you all some options.
Thank you. This is part of the settlement of our Me Too.
Here's the coffee.
Thank you.
The June Shine.
June Shine, so I can do some tea.
Requested.
This is drinks for 4 people.
Here's a hard
5.
seltzer. Here's all your Viagra.
I took one of each of these, and I just want to see what happens.
Who taps on it? That is the sweetest.
It's a habit. I know.
That is so cute that you just tapped on it.
That's funny. It's not even conscious anymore.
That's a hard kombucha.
Yeah.
It's like tiny bit alcoholic. There's a ton more in the.
Do you want to see it? Should we check his ID first? I mean, he's a young kid.
Yeah, I do look 15.
Yeah.
Look,
Nobody here. We're all adults.
I'm going to pee real fast.
You go pee.
You do what you got to do.
And I guess I'm not going to brush my hair. Well,
No, it's okay. We're just like, I mean, he just said we were rolling, so we just started.
Yes.
That's my new employee, Whitney Cummings, formerly known as Whitney Cummings, the comedian. Now she's Whitney Cummings, my kept servant.
Yes.
So my house is great. Once in a while, I let her stay here, just so she could remember what it was like before I Me Too'd her. I Me Too'd her good.
Yeah. Now she's your Alfred and you're Bruce Wayne.
Yeah. What happened was, last time I was here, I don't know if you guys watched my last episode of last time she was demonstrating to Ludo, who I'm the father of, her dog, how to pee, and she actually peed on the ground. So I just went to the court system and said that wasn't consensual. I didn't sign up to watch her. I didn't sign up for to watch a human pee.
No, you didn't sign up for that.
I won millions of dollars.
Yeah.
Just like Amber Heard did.
Yeah.
So
she basically took off your boots, basically.
She took off my boots.
Without your consent.
Yeah. That was one of the things that Johnny Depp described as being why Amber Heard is a monster.
Yeah.
Because when he would come home, she would take off his boots and hand him a glass of wine. That doesn't sound like a monster to me. That sounds like a good, submissive Asian woman.
Yeah. Yeah, that sounds like a concubine. Yeah.
That sounds like a woman who gets it.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe he was on drugs and didn't appreciate the fact that she probably fucked his brains out.
Yep.
She took his boots off. She handed him wine and occasionally threw a bottle of vodka at her.
Yeah.
But that comes with the territory.
It comes with the territory.
Yeah.
You know, you can't pray for rain and not deal with the mud.
You're not going to get your boots taken off and not get a bottle of vodka thrown at your head.
Yeah. I mean, when you get your boots taken off in New York City, it's because you got knocked out on the 12 train, you know?
That's why you get your Timberlands stolen off your feet and your Christmas money, which happened to me once when I was a kid.
Yeah, so it could be a lot worse in situations in which that happens.
When I got yoked up and the 8 kids came from behind me and I had my Christmas money that I saved up for, that I worked for, in my bus pass flap.
Yep.
And he asked me what size I was for Timberland. I should have said girl 6.
Yes.
But I told him the truth that I was a 10, and he said I happen to be a male 10 too. And I walked home in slushy socks.
Yeah, in those situations where you just got to go gay, all right? Your voice got to go up 8 octaves. And you got to go, I just don't prefer boots. These are my brothers. And if you would have said that, it would have been cleared out real quick.
Yeah, or I could have said, hey man, look, I'm a 10, but I have gout and I have athlete's foot.
Yes.
and there's shit on my. I wear shit in my boots.
Yeah, you only have 4 toes.
Yeah.
You know. You got gangrene on one foot.
I got gangrene on one
And
foot.
you're diabetic on the other foot.
I lost $60 in my Timbos that day.
Now, let me ask you a question. When you had the money rolled up, right?
The money was in my bus pass.
It was in your
I don't
bus
remember
pass.
if it was. That would be funny if I remember if it was rolled up or folded. I don't.
So did the bills go from high to low or low to high? Like, did you have the dollar bill wrapped on the outside and then you had the bigger bills on the inside? Because that's a smart move.
Yeah, I don't remember.
I do that.
You do that?
Yeah, I do that. Just in case I drop it, like, yo, you dropped $1. People not going to be inclined to take it.
That's a cop's kid thinking ahead.
Yeah, bro.
Thinking a step ahead of what the criminal would be thinking.
Exactly.
And how to trick the
You
criminal.
got to think like a criminal.
You got to think like a criminal.
Mhm.
So, but I don't know which criminal won't take the money because it's low bills.
Yeah, a high-class criminal.
They're not going to go, damn it, it's only 5s and 1s.
Yeah.
And I don't know which criminal's not going to open them up and see what's in there.
That's a criminal with taste.
It's criminal with taste. Criminal with taste be like, I'm not here for those 1s.
Yeah, son.
I'm here for the 5s and
Not
the
at all.
1s. Obviously, you know that I didn't buy this house and I didn't buy this studio, and I did not meet to Whitney Cummings. It's impossible to meet to her.
By the way, I would rather you rate me than give me a 3-minute heads up on recording a podcast. This is so much worse than any sexual assault you could ever do to me. Be like, hey, can we record a podcast in 2 hours?
There's something about when I get...
You're making me go on camera without makeup on. That's so much worse than
You don't have
rape.
makeup on right now? Let me tell you something right now. This is probably the hottest you've looked. You're aging like fine wine. You look great.
Yeah.
You're a 10. All these people that you say things on the internet. Do you understand that these people are fucking losers who jack off in the back and in their basements, and that's all they do with their lives?
Yeah.
You're what they call a 4-Rome piece. You're a gorgeous woman.
Yes.
Look, Yannis, I knew this would happen. Don't fall in love with me. We can't do this.
I know we can't. I'm married, and you're...
By the way, your wife is stunning.
She's the best.
I
got her young.
I'm going to say some...
Yeah.
Well, please take that out of... Make a clip of that.
Just cut this out.
And play it
Cut this out,
over
but I
and
want to make the
over.
joke. Cut this out, but I want
Got
to
her
make...
Yeah.
You cut it out. You're
Cut
the one
that
hanging
out.
out with
Yeah.
Stamos later.
I just wanted to make the joke.
You scouted your wife like John Calipari.
I did. I
Yeah.
got her. And you're a basketball fan, so you get that reference. My wife was a one and done freshman at Kentucky.
Yeah.
And I drafted her straight out of college.
Can you talk not in sports metaphors?
Okay.
Is there a way to explain it?
She was a Disney star. She was under Lou Pearlman's tutelage, and I groomed her. I think it was better with the sports analogy. It sounded more legal.
Let me ask you a question.
Ask away.
I just said
Legendary comedian Whitney Cummings, our guest. Very funny. One of my favorite people.
Really?
Absolutely.
saying
I
that.
know. I like you.
I
I'm
love
very
you.
fond of you.
I really love you. And I appreciate that you accept me where I am. I don't feel embarrassed around you.
You don't. You should.
Even though I constantly embarrass myself around you.
Not at
I
all.
feel like we're like have a very cool like brother-sister relationship.
Absolutely. And I liked you immediately. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. You're a comedian. You have feelings. I like you.
I think
yeah.
I think that we focus so much as comedians on the comedians we don't get along with or
Yeah.
the people that we do. I get so frustrated that not everybody gets along sometimes, but in every job, like in what job do you even get to have one situation where you get along this well?
It's very rare.
We're so lucky that
Yeah.
we're as friends comedian-wise with as many comedians as we are, for
Yes,
real.
Absolutely. And I just wanted to say thank you ahead of time. My podcast is contracted that you have to look at my black co-host at
Yes.
least every couple of minutes.
Every 3 minutes, you have to give 6 glances.
Yeah, so you're doing a good job.
And you
so
can't
I
blink. You can't
appreciate the
blink.
acknowledgement.
I cannot blame.
Yeah.
20-second intervals. You can't
Look,
blink.
I'm a white woman. I do whatever the fuck I want.
All right, listen.
We're
you
the
do
new
that-
white men.
You do that, but you're going to have Richard Dolezal in your DMs. I'm just telling you know right now. Okay?
Rachel Dolezal, I need to get her tanning lady.
She does have a good she's got like
Who's
a
her
good...
spray tanning lady?
Yeah,
You
she
must
does
know.
have a good tan. She's
Rachel
got-
Dolezal, isn't it amazing that she is famous for like that? She is a household name.
I respect her because she did not give in. She did not
She
give
doubled
in.
down.
She doubled down.
Yeah,
she
she's
doubled
famous for
down.
pretending to be black. She's a female Michael Rappaport.
Yeah, she's a female Michael Rappaport.
She's a female Iggy Azalea.
Hey,
Yeah.
she didn't. She's still insisting she's black.
But hold on, let me ask you a question. what happens when you see that?
What happens when I see that?
Yeah, like what was your reaction when you saw
wanted
the
to
Rachel
fuck her.
Dolezal
She's
rigmarole?
Oh yeah, I stare at the ass first.
Yeah.
You know, I stare at the ass. You
She
know?
pulled it off pretty decent.
I pulled it off pretty
When
decent.
she had like the.
But here's
when
what
she,
I'm if I may.
Go ahead.
You're telling me
Mm-hmm.
that no one noticed that she just had shoe polish on her face for 20 years? Like, whose fault is it really?
No, they probably did, but they saw
were-
the ass.
But
Yeah.
everyone was
You
like,
filled
this-
out with ass.
This is the thing.
with
You know,
with black dudes, a fat ass like that is like the Yankee pinstripes.
so she had
Yes.
a hooch out. No one
Yeah.
even looked at her face.
you know,
You
when you go to
just-
Carnival, you win those glasses with like the stripes in them, and you get
Yeah.
hypnotized.
Yes.
Yes.
That's what her ass is.
Yeah, it's like they say
I
that.
didn't know Rachel Dolezal had an ass on her.
Oh,
Little
she's
bit.
yeah.
What?
A little bit.
Yeah, she couldn't have been like a skinny white girl and pulled that
No,
off.
she can't look like you and
yeah,
pull it off.
yeah,
you know?
she would be able to pull
Thank
it off.
you.
Yeah.
So much. Wait, so she had an ass and was like, okay, do you think it went down like this? And I'm not saying went down because you're black. I just, that's.
Of course. I mean, you assume I'm black.
Get down.
but-
You would have said get
Yeah.
down.
So if
He's also
you're
half
her,
Puerto Rican. So
is
be-
she
yes.
like, I'm a heavier gal, I have a dump truck ass.
Yeah.
This is not, I'm a white guy 6.
Uh-huh.
I'm a black guy 8.
Yeah, I think she saw the ass
Get
first.
me that copper tone
Yes. Yeah.
self tanner.
Absolutely. I
Do
think
you
you're
think
right.
that's what she did?
I think that's where it started. I think she was noticing she was thick.
Yes.
And thicker girls get a little more attention from brothers.
They get a little bit more attention, you know, and also white women who are bigger, they think that they can take advantage of black men easy because if they're not accepted by white men, next in the line is a black man.
Well,
I've experienced that growing up on Long Island a lot.
Well, she
you know?
did. She did.
She
do it.
did.
She
She
did
did,
do it.
you know?
She used that ass. Listen. It's black guy kryptonite.
Yes.
When you got a fat ass like that, it's really. it
Where have you seen
confuses.
her ass?
She's
It's
a thick
on
girl.
there. She's,
Yeah,
she's in Phoenix, I believe, and she's on like a rock and she's displaying it.
She's on Cameo. Is
Yes.
where she is. That's her job is full time Cameo, which I feel bad for her now. I want.
She's
like,
on Cameo?
Yeah,
How-
she can't get a job. Like she's completely ostracized. Everyone thinks she's a joke. I think, like you were suggesting, I think there needs to be a statute of limitation.
Mm-hmm.
If you trick someone for a long enough period, she
Yeah.
went to an all black college.
Mm.
She rose up in the NAACP as a black woman. I think at that point you just go, hats off. You go, you can be black.
I mean,
Her and Sean King should just get cards and just go, you're black. You tricked us off.
Not,
for too
not,
What do they
long.
call
not Sean
Sean-
King. I'll give him an honorary Dominican card, but not the black card.
Right.
Malcolm X?
He does have like, yeah.
Yeah. He looks like he could play for the Indians.
Yeah.
but
Yes.
so what happened?
Excuse me.
What
Whatever their
happens-
new name is.
What happens when you see you're like this person is trying so hard?
Yeah.
Like what happens? I know it's like it's offensive, it's appropriation, but is it like sad to you, funny to you?
Oh no, it's not sad
hurtful?
because like I know like the power that the culture has. It's something that the culture is something
Yo,
that
word, for
everyone.
real.
Yeah.
I mean?
Welcome to 106 and Park.
Yeah, no, you heard? Yeah, no,
That
for real.
everyone, I mean, it's like it's this wild thing where it's like we're in this
Everybody wants
country.
to be black.
We're in this country that is so incredibly racist, and everyone wants to be black.
Everyone's yeah.
I don't want to be black, you know what I mean? Like,
I remember one time I was
I'm
working
good.
for. I was
I'm
on.
good. I'm good how I am.
Well,
you know
your,
what I mean?
your sneakers tell a different story. So
Yeah, no, I wanted to be black when I
Yeah.
was when I
Your
remember.
your sneakers tell the story of the Foxcatcher guy.
Yeah.
Are you doing the off Broadway
Yeah,
community
these are
theater
not-
production
these are
of the
not-
Coach and Foxcatcher?
Yeah, these are not my like coolest kicks right here.
no, but they're comfortable and
But
they look
when
nice.
I was young and they did that, like, what do you want to be when you grow up thing, and people said their jobs, I said black. I said I want to be a black man. I grew up in that generation where like we all were trying to be black.
Yeah.
Did that hit Virginia?
Well, no. Well, see, I grew
You
up.
hooped. That's close.
I hooped.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does he just say stuff like this around you? And
Yeah.
that's okay.
What you mean?
I said his hoop. That's close.
Hoop's okay.
I hooped.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's like saying you played violin. That's close to Asian.
Yeah.
If you hooped, it's close to black.
That's good.
What are the
Yeah, like
words
he said,
that
nigga.
if
you had a lesbian
Giannis
experience, it's
uses
close to Greek.
Besides the obvious, what are the words where you're like, I just don't say that word?
The N word.
Yeah.
No, that was that was the obvious one.
Yes.
What is one that's like when someone's like, my album's about to drop, if like, or someone's like, my pod's about to drop, I'm like,
Right. When do I say?
when
like,
are you like, when do you cringe? What makes
what
shit?
black slang do I say that makes
Makes
you
you
go like,
cringe.
all right,
It's
tone
not,
it down?
it's not the black slang. It's the black body language.
Oh, okay, yeah.
When you talk to me, son,
Yeah.
and your shoulders raised up here for no reason,
Can
yeah.
I tell you? Okay,
Motherfucker
so
look like he got scoliosis.
surprise to nobody. I've dated a couple of closeted
Black men?
black men in my day. And I would see whenever he would come over.
Can I just take this throw pillow out?
Yes. Well, actually,
this is the only podcast I've done with throw pillows.
Yeah.
Your place, whoever, did you do this interior design yourself?
Well, this podcast studio is a nightmare. I mean, this
gorgeous.
Is,
this looks. What are you talking about?
Thank you. I mean, this is all just like fan art.
Yeah,
stuff
I
that
feel
people
like
sent.
I feel
It's
like I'm
crazy.
in the Guinness Book of World Records headquarters.
Yeah, it's like it's like Pee-Pee's Playhouse.
Yeah, it's like Ripley's Believe It or Not.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Yeah. It does look a little like that, yeah.
Yeah, it's just like a miscellany of random nonsense.
That's meaningful to you,
That's
though.
meaningful to me.
Yeah.
Everything has like a story or a fan sent it
That's
or
what's
someone
good.
made it. By the way, this is like a random. I'm really into like Joan Rivers' side businesses right now. I get like obsessed with things. You know, Joan Rivers was on. Speaking of Rachel Dolezal, Joan Rivers was making leg makeup.
Like makeup.
Did you know this?
Yeah,
On QVC.
I don't know where my glasses
Joan Rivers was solving problems you didn't even know you had. This is how important comedians are.
Yeah.
Do you realize that comedians in the have not just been the truth tellers, the people that are going to stand up to authority figures, the calling out the bullshitters, whatever. Like, comedians have been solving problems like that. Comedians don't just make the ha-has and the hee-hees. They also go like, who's going to do something about that?
Wait, so you're saying they've been solving problems like leg tan?
As a woman,
Changing the world.
look at you know me. You know that I get attacked by dogs every
Yes.
couple hours.
Yes.
You've got scars on your legs. You've got ugly legs. You don't want to wear pantyhose. Look at that.
Yes.
Instead of wearing pantyhose, she said, no, just use this cream.
Change the world.
Joan Rivers.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Her
A comedian.
and Steve Jobs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could have no legs and it looks like you have
Yeah.
legs.
She was selling that
Oscar
on-
Pistorius buys that.
QVC.
But do you think like she didn't invent it? Like she probably teamed up, put her name on it.
Of course, but she was the one that was like, look, you sick of wearing pantyhose, having those, and she was able to sell it with
Right.
charisma. She was
Right.
able to convince you that you needed this thing, you know? And it's like comedian. I want to remind myself that comedians, as much as we're like, we're just these silly gooses and we're drunks and we're messes and we're crazy and we're like business people. We are also business people.
And
So
influencing and lying are two aspects of business.
Yes,
You know?
it's marketing, selling. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're a comedian. You must have some entrepreneurial ideas because you got a little capital. What would you create? Would it be like a bridle for dogs so they can't bite each other?
As you all know, I'm sure Yannis did save my life. I was in a dog fight. I was in what I think can easily be described as a jam.
Yeah, it was a pickle.
I was in a pickle.
You were in a pickle, yeah.
Between two female pit bulls that were trying to kill each other. And I was like, I got it. I've been in Hollywood 15 years. I'll take this one.
Yeah, actually, it's probably
I've had
harder.
to hang out with female comedians at the Comedy Store. I got this.
Yeah.
It was probably harder than that, yeah.
And Yannis saved my life. So Yannis is uniquely qualified to know about the dangers I put myself in. I really did want to be an inventor.
You probably, like, what would it be?
I wanted to be
What
an
would you
inventor.
invent? What,
Like I just like, since I was a kid, I was always trying to like solve really big problems.
Right.
Like with inventions. And I want to say like 4 years ago, maybe 5 years ago, I got really obsessed with EMFs that are, you know, like the radiation that's coming from the phones to the satellites back to, and I went to Under Armour and I had done all this research and I sat down with like the head guy from Under Armour and I was like, hey, don't you think we should start like doing clothes that are EMF proof? So when you're on planes, we're on planes all the time, you know, like putting computers on your balls. We don't have the data yet, but I do believe in like, we know something's up here. There's gotta be something. And by the way, even if there's not, people will buy something just to know that they're protected from something, even if we find out later it wasn't a threat.
Right.
I want to know that I at least try. I'd rather buy the thing that I don't need.
And even if you just market the threat and just say it's there and say scientists say, that's all you got to say
It's
is
called
scientists
snake
say.
oil.
Yeah,
Which is-
scientists say there's a threat. That you got to protect yourself from the FBI or whatever that acronym was.
Yeah, placebo effect
Yeah.
is an effect in both ways.
Yes.
If we say it's a problem, it's probably a problem.
Yes.
Us stressing out about it is giving us cancer. We're getting cancer either way.
Either way, we're
Stressing
going.
out about the fake problem or the actual problem, either way, we're in trouble.
It's
Murphy's
the
Law.
stress that
Yeah.
gets you. Yeah.
So I was in this situation where I was like, okay, EMFs, like we're being bombarded with EMFs just constantly all the time. And once you get into that,
What are EMFs? I'm sorry.
EMFs.
Yeah, you got to explain that to him because he thinks
Yeah.
it's a new rap group.
Does sound like a rap group act. Yeah.
No, it's the radiation that from cell phone towers.
Okay, gotcha.
That goes to satellites. I mean, we send a text, it goes to space and comes back and hits us in our body.
I didn't know it worked that way.
Yeah, it does.
Oh.
What did you think? How did you think it worked?
I thought there was like a string attached to all the phones. I didn't know. That's fucking wild.
You know what's wild about you? I truly
Idiot, bro.
believe the smartest people sometimes come off the dumbest. Isn't that true? Because
you're
smart
in a-
people, the reason they get smart is because they ask a lot of questions. And smart people will ask a question like that.
Yeah, I think smart people are always really dumb in other areas.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Like,
Yeah.
I love that one of my favorite moments is someone that I see as being so incredibly smart and just like a wealth of knowledge being like, what does that mean?
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's dumb. Smart people there's always smart in like one area and then they're really dumb in others.
The coolest thing you can do as a person is say you don't know something.
Yes.
In this day of like know it all, everyone's got an opinion, everyone's got an answer to be like, I don't know.
It's very
Yeah.
hard to be
Like
transparent.
I just fell in love with you. Like I am wet.
as a brother. Well, you are from Virginia, so that works as a brother.
Yes. That's very on brand.
Hey. But I cannot tell you how attractive it is when someone goes, what does that mean?
Yeah.
How does that work?
Right.
It makes you realize how full of shit most people always are.
Yeah. Pretty soon he's gonna be like, how do these cameras work again,
Yeah.
Whitney? Whitney, how do these lights work? How does everything work,
No way
Whitney?
this is recording. But invention. Oh, so I was like, I got it. We should do EMF proof clothing
Yeah.
or have the option to EMF proof, your baby's crib or paint or something. Like
Yeah.
I've always been like thought like that. Like,
Yeah.
and I've always wanted to like invent stuff, and I'm obsessed with Shark Tank. Like I'm always obsessed with like how to make this easier and how to save 3 seconds. Like
Yeah.
I was like, everyone makes fun of me when I first started doing stand up. I used to only wear Velcro shoes because it like saved me time. I was like, I'm the person that's like, okay, well, it takes 30 seconds to tie both shoes, like 30 seconds times, every day, 7 days a week.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
like Nick, my best friend Nick, like
Yeah.
he's like a sports person. Like
Yeah.
who was the athlete that said there 5-minute breaks? If you take a 5-minute break every practice to practice while everyone else is taking a break,
Kobe, probably.
you'll be like 2 years ahead of them.
Probably
if you
Kobe.
practice.
Sounds like Kobe.
Sounds like
yeah.
Kobe. You're obsessed with saving time. The Velcro save you 30 seconds.
Yeah.
During sex, do you get upset if it goes long? Are you going like, come on, I got things to do.
I take Lunesta an hour before. So you're going to have to ask Alex about that.
Alex!
I multitask on a
What do you like to fuck Whitney?
Do you use Velcro condoms?
Velcro condoms. Condoms? I haven't thought about a condom in so long.
Wait, I'm curious. When you're having sex, like the dogs are always with you. Like I remember when me and my wife are making love. I don't like when the dog is in there.
Mm-hmm.
I
don't
feel
like
like
the dog
everyone has
looking
a
at me.
joke about this. The dogs are in the crates when I am having sex.
But they're in the room?
They can't. I am the alpha. They cannot see
That's right.
their alpha being degraded
Right.
the way I am degraded.
Right.
When people are like, "Oh, my dog's on the bed when I was having sex," I was like, "No wonder your dog doesn't respect you."
Right. 'Cause
That's why your dog jumps on everybody and doesn't sit and come when you call because you get cummed on.
You just got cummed
This
on
is
and
it.
lightly choked.
Your dog knows
Right.
when you're being degraded.
So do you?
You can't get fish hooked in front of your dog. It'll never respect you again.
Can't do doggy style in front of your dog.
Nope.
If Alex is being a little dominant and then the dog walks in, do you flip him over and choke? Do you get in the? I can't have Frankie see me like this. You start punching Alex.
I mean, sucking a dick looks dominant.
It's the most dominant
It
thing.
is.
Yeah.
You do have all the power in that
Yeah.
moment.
Luckily,
Yeah.
like things that humans do that are super submissive to dogs probably look dominant.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it looks like you're
If you're sucking someone else's dick, kind of looks like you're just killing and they're
Yeah.
like, what?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it is dominant in the sense that the guy is like
Yeah.
out of it and like you're in control.
And someone, since I am a turtle bottom,
when you're what?
I just said a turtle bottom.
Yeah.
Oh, I just said terminal bottom. I'm like, what sickness you got? Dang.
No, that's Rachel Dolezal.
Yeah.
No, someone. Why do I not want to say being fucked? If I would just talk like this, I'd be call her daddy, and I would.
Yeah, because your set looks like Sesame Street, and you're
I
not sure
don't
if you use that language. Yeah.
I don't know why. Like I'm worried about being dirty all of a sudden. But
Yeah.
when you're getting fucked, it's oddly you're working for me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're serving me.
You're the best because you have one foot like solidly in Hollywood and 1 foot in the comedy world. So you got to remember which hat you got on. You're like, wait, who's the guest?
Dude,
okay, it's not Michael McConaughey or whatever.
You're getting me at a time where I did not know I was going to be podcasting today. So I'm a little bit all
You're
over
a little
the place.
Hollywood Whitney right
No,
now.
that's it. What is this Hollywood Whitney thing?
I mean, it paid for this.
Why do you guys...
You didn't make this for Manscaped.
Theo brought me up on stage the other day and was like, Whitney's here, elite Hollywood. I'm like, what? I feel like I feel like I'm on the outskirts of Hollywood and the outskirts of podcast. I feel like I'm a ugly duckling to both.
I think that's just because you're a comic and you always feel like you're, we have that, what is that, imposter syndrome?
Yeah.
And also you had 36 different hair colors within the last 64 days. So.
Do you have a problem with that?
No, I'm just saying.
I feel like that bothered you. What was your perception of me before you met me?
Before what?
Before you met me, what
just
was
a very lively woman,
lively woman.
Yeah.
That is the meanest thing anyone's ever said.
What do you mean?
A lively woman.
Yeah, you got moxie in you.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What else?
That's I believe
that's about it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna leave it at that. But
no, you're inside in both.
I don't know if I'm
both.
I've definitely burned. I feel like doing a podcast. I've burned a couple bridges in Hollywood because I run my mouth and I say what I.
But you didn't. I don't think so. You haven't said anything.
No.
I don't think. Yeah, I don't know.
Whenever I defend a podcaster, I lose like 6 network TV jobs.
That's the math on that, right?
Yeah, it's just pure
One
math.
pro tweet to a friend minus 6 shows.
What is going on with, okay, first of all, what is this podcast? What is the goal today?
The goal today is to do exactly what we're doing, which is have fun. I'm enjoying
Bullshitting,
it.
hanging out. Okay, good. Because I don't want to be stepping on your, sometimes I go into like Burst Podcast or Segura's and I start like being annoying and everyone thinks I'm obnoxious.
This is perfect.
Do you feel like Hollywood doesn't accept people that got big on podcasts? Or is that changing? What's happening?
I don't think they do because they just go, oh, since he has a podcast, we'd have to look through it. We'd have to make sure he didn't call anyone a slur. We have to make sure. Yeah. So they just would rather go with the easier answer, I think.
See, that's not what it used to be. It used to be, oh, they're doing a podcast. They couldn't make it in Hollywood, so they're podcasting. Right. Which then the podcasters stunted on everyone and was like, oh, no, we've built this body of work and have tons of, library of entertainment that we can then go sell. But then after Shane Gillis and after Call People, it's like, oh, but...
I think them giving the Grammy to Louis because they're
Grammy is not Hollywood.
It's not
That's
Hollywood.
music. The music business don't bring that in here.
But I just think a little bit of that was kind of like the establishment going like, we need funny people back, and so they gave it to them, and then they went like this, like they were afraid they were going to get hit, like they were going, they like, here's your thing, and then they went and they were looking and they were going like, are we getting yelled at? And they're like, so I think they tried to sneak it in, and I think now that like not a lot of noise was made about it, you might start seeing some people who have podcasts get hired.
I think the Grammys voted for him because he was the funniest, and they had no idea anything else. I think the music
they
business.
Didn't hear about it?
The music business is not close.
They're still on drugs.
Dude, they are gone. The music business is still throws some D's on that bit. Like what? Like they're not.
So you say the music business doesn't really know funny?
I think the music business is not
in the Me Too era
susceptible to this fear shit,
Yeah.
Like they're not like you just can't fuck with the music business in terms of like you're problematic for women, you're degrading women. Music is different. Music is like our tits are out, our asses are out, like it doesn't apply to music.
Good point.
Misogyny,
it doesn't apply.
Violence, racism.
That's
is all
what
part
we're doing.
Of the music.
You cannot try to say that Cardi B's problematic. She's bulletproof.
Yeah.
She's
Good
bulletproof. Come for me.
Good
what
point.
are you going to do? You know what I'm saying?
Good point.
Music, you can't. It's
Good
emotional.
point.
It's visceral. It's irrational by nature. It's music.
Yeah.
Good point.
There's no rationale. You cannot apply these like rational Homo sapien rules to what we do. And they've been good about being like, yeah, no, we're weirdo monster audio firefly people. Like we don't.
You're right.
We're all monsters.
Right.
Yeah.
They're still doing bad stuff. They still celebrate bad stuff.
We make something that makes people go,
yeah.
like, you can't fuck with us.
Yes. Okay.
Comedy is disposable.
Yes.
Music is not.
No. And
Comedy's up for debate. Music is not. Because you can't. Music is like, it's like.
It's evoking emotion.
With the sweat dropped down my ball. It was like the Chris Rock joke. The feminist being like,
Sweat down
it's
my
a
ball.
fucking amazing song. I don't care what he's saying in it.
The Rolling Stones.
Like, skeet, 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 please. Yes.
Come on me.
Yes.
The Superman, which is also, wasn't the Spider-Man that whole meaning like you come on her?
Yeah.
Yeah. Spider-Man that whole, and there was like 12-year-olds doing that dance.
But yeah, Spider-Man that whole, but it's also like, that's not rape. You know what I'm saying? Sex can be fun.
Yeah.
Music is too fun. They're like, no, dude, we have sex and it's fun. Like, I don't know what you guys are doing over there. Like, we're like, they're just like the party animals, and we're like the nerds that are just like infighting.
It must be fun to throw cum at someone.
Oh yeah.
I've never done it. That's what Spider-Man is. Yeah, Spider-Man that hoe.
Yeah. Superman.
Cum is,
Superman that hoe.
I don't know that much about cum. So cum, if it were just to come out, would it just be like is it like that facial cleanser Cetaphil?
Yeah.
Because we used to.
I mean, if you had cum in your hand, you probably think it was ivermectin.
But is it like? Is there water? Is it like yogurty where there'd be water?
That's why I don't know if I've ever heard that sentence. I don't know that much about cum.
I don't know that much about the consistency. Is it more of a viscous? Is it case by?
Have you seen it?
My intestines have seen a lot of it. I have seen it so close that it's blurry. I know a lot about it. I know more about how it tastes than you do. I know more about.
I wouldn't be so sure of that. You
heard
said
about
that
it.
confidently.
You heard about it. You just never really saw it.
I've never seen it like up close and like chilled with
Comes
it.
to absent father.
I don't know what happens at.
You've never like looked at it and inspected it. Yeah.
I don't know the trajectory. Does it dry like blood? I try to get.
Dries like glue.
And it dries brown on some surfaces too.
Yeah.
Some surfaces.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Depends on what you come on.
What color does it dry on Rachel Dolezal?
Well,
Is the real question.
That's how she got black. Yeah.
Okay, because the thing is, cum, like, there's an instant, like, get it up, clean it up, clean it. It's got to go.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, it's.
Yeah.
It dries brown on Puerto Rican women.
I used
And it's a little lighter on white women. On you, it would be like very ivory.
I used to do a joke. I can't remember. Maybe my first special or second special when someone comes on your chest, how like it's like heavy, like you can't everyone or something. I can't remember like how it tightens your skin. It'll pull your skin. If it comes on you, it'll if you have like a hair, nipple hair, it'll pull it. It'll rip out. It's like you got to get it off you immediately because it dries like cement. Like you don't have a lot of time. So I spend so much time trying to get it off me as to not wax myself with it.
Right.
I've never seen it in the wild. Just chill.
Come in the wild.
Come in the wild. Like, is it like a gelatinous?
It's jellious. It's a little clumpy.
Yeah.
I guess it depends on your sperm count too. Right?
But is there water? Is it like a watery fluid outside?
Yeah, it's like a watery fluidy, and then there's like it looks like phlegm.
Is it
it
like
looks like
poop
phlegm.
where it's different every time?
Yeah, no, it's the same every time. It's
the
pretty
same
similar
every time.
It's like pancake batter if you had your 8-year-old nephew make it.
Yeah, like too much water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I jerk off now, like now that I'm older, like jerking off's not enough for me anymore.
Okay.
So like I like to play at a game to it.
Okay.
So part of my game is I want to get the shot in my belly button. It's like I'm playing golf with the cum.
So you're okay. So are you? Can I ask a question? This is important for you guys. Do you truly?
And if it doesn't get in there, I'd lose.
Do you not know?
Remind you to wash your belly button, son. That shit is disgusting.
The fact that you're.
Because I know that motherfucker don't go in there with a Q-tip and clean it.
You know good and well, white people don't wash their legs and they don't wash their belly buttons and they don't wash their backs.
No. Yeah, well, Yannis uses a washcloth, so
I can't with the washcloth. What is it with you guys and washcloths?
It's black people do washcloths.
Okay, well, I have a mitt. I have a disposable mitt. I do a different mitt every week. It's a Korean exfoliating mitt. We got to get you on the mitt.
Yeah.
About that mitt, like.
But I think that's just a fun game, and you can play it also with a partner. You can have her open your mouth, and you go back like 10 inches, and you try to play mini golf.
Sure.
Yeah,
mini golf, why? Because
I guess 10 inches
your
is
dick?
It's a putt. It's a putt.
Oh, it's a putt.
You're trying to get it in the mouth, in the hole.
But let me ask you a question. Do you really not know when you're about to come where it's how far it's gonna go.
Don't know where it's going.
No clue.
You have no going.
Zero.
Especially me, when I'm young, my shit shoots out. It's like a filmmaker
don't know.
Because here's what I'll say.
Yeah.
Once I just recently started opening my eyes when a guy would come at me because I'm like, I want to see what's going on. I want to get ahead of it. I want to like know where it's going. Because it used to be just close your eyes and just let it happen. But now I have like very expensive sheets and I want to like be able to clean them properly. And so I'll open my eyes and like watching a guy come on you and then be surprised at where it's going is always a wild thing to see. I'm like, you don't even know what's going to happen?
No, it's really
it's crazy what your kids can
random.
accomplish.
There's no like consistent.
Sometimes you get a premonition it's going to be a baby maker because you just like you're really turned on or you're backed up or you haven't jerked off in a while, you hadn't had sex in a while.
Define backed up.
Backed up meaning like you haven't squeezed a glue gun in a little while.
But
Yeah.
if you haven't squeezed the glue gun in a little while, does it stop producing or does it just keep producing?
Produce a lot.
keeps on producing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you
The little
remember-
elves in there just keep mixing.
Do you remember there was a time where I was talking about this the other day with someone? I was like, I don't think you can do this anymore. You're young. You're dating, single.
Dating, yeah.
There was a time you were born at the wrong time, dude. You got fucked.
What do you mean?
There was a time where guys. This was like when I was in college. If you kissed a guy, made out with a guy, hooked up with him, you like had to have sex with him because he'd be like, there was this thing where it's like you gave them blue balls and you were physically harming them if you didn't fuck them.
Yeah.
That was just a kind of a thing. I think it was kind of like a manipulative thing.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
And it worked incredibly well. And it would be like, oh, well, because he's in pain. You'd be like, I guess I'll just suck a stick or give him a hand job or do something. Like this poor guy. And you'd feel sorry for the guy and just fuck him. Just a sympathy, pity fuck, pity suck dick fuck, whatever. Because we thought we were hurting you.
Right.
If
Yeah.
we blue balled you.
Yeah. You guys still do that, the blue ball thing?
It's like in college with frats, but
Yeah.
No, you have to
I-
log into 9 apps and
Yeah.
say
Yeah.
consent to it
Yeah.
first.
It's a
I ain't never
different
done that.
time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know, can't do that to girls now.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
you like made out with a guy and didn't have sex with him, you felt sorry for him and then would just give him a pity blow.
Those are the good old days. Those are the good old
The glory
days when we
days.
just had an advantage.
Yeah.
But wait, I missed. Hold on, there was something that I was off track for. Okay, so the putting the cum in your belly button.
Yeah.
But
I don't
isn't-
put it in. That would be cheating. It's got to go in on its own or I lose.
Yeah.
But while you're is that how much you love sports?
Yeah. Yeah.
The only thing
It's
better
fun.
than
It's
an
funny.
orgasm is
Yeah.
an orgasm that involves getting like scoring.
Yes. Yes. I actually am keeping score right now. I'm had a great week. I'm about par.
Tell me, okay, so this is your podcast. People want to hear you talk. I'm going to shut my whore mouth.
No, don't shut your whore mouth.
What's
the
going on in
guest.
LA? I want to talk to you. I listened to your episode on Rogan last time. I feel like
Did you learn how grizzly bears bury their food?
if Rogan decided to retire today and go make knives, or if he
That's what he would do, yeah.
If he just like is on the wrong side of a moose or whatever, decides he's into, I feel like you are uniquely qualified to like
Slide in there.
slide in there.
So you're saying, should we take him out somehow?
You said it.
Yeah, we'll take him out. How about we did like, you know how Weekend Update went from 1 to 2? So we take him out and me and you become Jimmy Fallon and Tina Fey of talking to scientists about vaccines.
Yeah.
We become the contrarian to the mainstream.
You got to trick them. You
I
got to
had
have a
so
Trojan
But
many-
you
elf.
got to make a full commit
I
at that
had
point.
so many roast jokes just now about Jimmy and Tina, and I was too scared to make them.
Did you say Jimmy Fallon show looks like the writer's room is a kindergarten, or just kindergartners with crayons? Hey guys, I
Nope.
wrote a good bit. How about we smash this egg on my face?
Yeah. I'm not going to say anything about Tina Fey because I have a crush on her. But yes,
Yeah.
I agree on
Who
my
else do you have a crush on? Who are your crushes?
That's my comedy crushes.
Comedy crushes. By the way,
Yeah.
Tina Fey, you read her book?
No, I haven't.
It's wonderful.
You know
Yeah.
what's great about him?
What?
Yeah, Tina Fey, she's Greek. She's a hero in
Is
the black
she?
community.
Stamatina. That's her like full
She's a
name.
Greek and she's a hero in
I
my
don't think I knew
community.
that.
Yeah.
She blew my mind in that book it's incredible. I'm such a big fan. Also, she's changed my life in so many ways. You know her husband's shorter than her?
Really?
I'm just going to say it. Google it.
All her accomplishments,
you
if
to
that's what
Google
you
it.
focus on?
I need you to Google it.
He could be, you think he's a beard?
Google
no
it
woman
right
would
now.
marry
Nope.
a...
Google it right now.
Okay.
He's a brilliant composer.
I'm going to pretend like I Google it because I don't care enough.
No,
but yes, I just saw it.
Nope, I need you to do it. Giannis, I need you to do it. Or
I
else-
don't have reception in here, which means you got mad at me and you changed the
Okay,
password.
by the way-
so I wouldn't have automatic reception.
Yes.
In my
Living
house.
it up in the Hotel California. It's a lovely place, but you can never leave. I feel like that's what I'm building here, Hotel
You
California.
are.
People come there on Wi-Fi, they can't leave, they
Yeah.
can't go anywhere. Okay,
Let me pitch something to you while you're looking for it. If we want to make a little money on the side, what if we open an amusement park in Los Angeles and it was like a Me Too haunted house? So every guy, you get him in there and like he's got to avoid all the possible Me Toos.
Oh, I thought I went a different direction. I thought it was a haunted house and like Harvey Weinstein, Kevin Spacey.
That's a good one,
they
too.
Were all,
Yeah.
They jump out at you.
Yeah, that's a good
That's a
one too.
good one
I was
too.
like, dude, that's the
That's a
best use
good
of those
one,
guys.
too.
Like,
Yeah, Me Too
Michael
haunt-
Richards just pop out. And they try to take selfies with you and you're like, ah!
Yeah, that's even better. Yeah, that's even better.
Okay.
That's even better. Very shorter. Wait a second.
See?
Why does your phone have a horse tail?
I wear my phone as a necklace. It's called a bandolier, so I don't lose it.
This is the part that I hate. Like when you
Why
gotta,
don't you just get contacts?
because if I get contacts, then I
He's
can't
gonna forget
read.
to take 'em out.
Yeah, like I can read without glass. Like I can see this fine, but I
Yeah.
can't see you.
Yeah.
My eyes are like weird. I was gonna get LASIK.
My face is not something to base your. I look blurry. I'm blurry. My face is out of focus.
It's really funny, actually.
Please don't.
You have a smooth face. Yeah, it does kind of.
It's my face is not the it fucks up the bell curve a little bit. I do know that about myself.
Yeah.
He's really short.
What's going on here?
But by the way, but what's going on here is he's the most brilliant composer. He's a musician.
Yeah,
Right.
I think they worked on 30 Rock together
Yeah.
too. Yeah.
Right.
They're madly in love, and why not? She's the most brilliant comedy writer.
She really is.
Why not?
Yeah.
Why? No one talks about how shallow women are.
Right.
No one.
Let's talk about it. How
Okay.
are they? How shallow are they?
The most.
But you've dated some brilliant people,
Yeah.
right? You've also dated some not so brilliant people.
I just think that it's not unique. Like shallowness is a biological imperative. It's like, it's really just, it's brutal. Human nature's brutal, dude. And yeah, I was listening to you and Rogan talk about it with the bears and I feel like we could have cut it down a bit.
yeah.
But-
I was in that waiting
Yeah,
room.
we
I thought it was
kinda-
National Geographic on the TV. That shit was long, son.
yeah.
But this sort of like our bodies want to make the most a warrior. Our bodies really just want to make something that's going to survive for as long as possible.
Of course.
It's not personal.
Right.
You know?
Do you ever think like, because we're comedians, do you ever think like, I want to reproduce to make like a super comic? Who would you reproduce if you want to make a super comic?
Well, this just reminds me of one time Neil Brennan said to me, we were writing a movie together, and he goes, we're
He
like,
goes, I don't know if you know, I co-wrote Chappelle's Show, and I'm also very funny and very smart.
by the way,
And I-
co-created.
Yeah, I said he worked behind
Sorry,
closed doors.
as someone that's created shows, I am going to be the asshole that you're mocking right now.
Co-created, yeah.
There is a very big difference.
I love Neil Brennan. I'll throw him in a pool, though.
I love his brother. And we were sitting, and you know how like when you have like a platonic best friend, you're like, if when we're 50, let's just have a kid together, He's like, and so we made this agreement. We're like, okay, when we're 45, let's meet in a hotel room, get together, and kill ourselves.
That's a comics
We
pact.
do have that pact.
Yeah.
I don't, look, I'm not going to say I don't think comedians should have children.
That would be really funny if you guys act like
I
you
just
fulfilled it.
Murder-suicide.
And like like you didn't. It was just like a nope. And hey, we made this pact. We're comedian. We didn't.
And
so
the
we killed each
follow-up
other.
to 3 mics is 2 guns. Now the chair lane feeder.
Yeah.
But we, so I don't, a super comic. If I was going to have a baby with a man to make a super comedian, I feel like,
because you'd have to go against all those instincts.
but I'd want to, okay.
You couldn't be because you're not building a warrior. You're not building someone necessarily smart. You're trying to build the funniest person.
You're saying smart and funny are not the same thing. I think you have to be smart to be funny.
Yeah,
You're the anomaly.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah, I'm the outlier. Yeah, okay. Smart, maybe. In a way. Are we smart? I mean, really?
Yes.
We're smart?
Yes. You know
Are
what?
we?
Yes.
What
I
can we
wasn't
engineer?
you
We
know
can't
what?
engineer
Yes.
anything.
Yes.
Did you build this set? No.
Why are people paying to hear you talk?
Because
You
I'm
think-
fucking good at
Can I
stand-up.
tell you something? Can I tell you something?
Yeah.
I just think that
And
comedians,
actually, not a lot of them are paying.
a big part of our job is to have low self-esteem.
Yeah.
It works well for us,
Yeah.
but like I refuse to do this, like allow comedians to trash themselves.
I appreciate that.
Because I believe that you're the highest, the most intelligent, as smart as they get.
I'm very negative and hard on myself. That's one of my negative
And that, as you
traits.
should be, because
Yeah.
only funny people are. So
Right.
it's like, but it's our job as comedians' friends to go, oh, no.
The product.
I'm not
yeah.
going to let you do that.
I mean-
Anyone that comes off stage and is like, nailed it. I'm
Yeah.
the smartest person in the room. Do not trust that person. You want the funniest people have the lowest self-esteem.
That's a good
And that's
point.
how they stay funny and
Yes.
stay good.
You're right.
So you're saying everything you're saying is correct, but
Right.
you're brilliant and you know it. And if you say that you're not interesting or funny or smart or brilliant, it insults the people that listen to you.
Sorry, guys.
You're insulting your fans.
That
You think
was-
they
yeah.
want to listen to someone dumb?
That was a Andrew Schultz breakdown of a marketing right there. I'm telling
Oh,
you.
Yeah.
gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you sound like him after you sold out Radio City Music Hall. That was
No,
great.
if that would have been, she would have been crying.
Yeah, where's your
I
t-shirt
didn't hear
go?
about that. Did that happen?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh,
Bill Gates went to his show too.
I did not hear about that. Andrew, we heard about it. Don't we all know?
Yeah.
Everyone knows we love you.
Yes.
We got it.
They heard it. Yeah.
I love Andrew. Andrew came in to audition for me for a TV show to play my boyfriend. This is how dumb I am. This is, you know what? It's perfect segue. This is how self-esteem, having low self-esteem is it works in a lot of ways, but sometimes it really fucks you. You have to know when to turn it on and off. Sometimes it serves you. Sometimes you got to know when to let it, like, push it aside. He came and auditioned. I did a TV show for HBO, and I was auditioning someone to play my boyfriend. And I was so insecure that it was hard to cast a boyfriend because I was like, I don't want people to think that I would, like, think I can, because people know that I'm hiring the person, and I don't want to hire some, like, hot guy, because then they're like, oh, but he's just hiring this hot guy. Like, I was just so in my head about it. And Andrew Schultz came in, was by far my, like, incredible, my favorite.
Yeah.
Brett Goldstein ended up doing it. He absolutely brilliant. He's now on Ted Lasso. Like, they were both brilliant, but Andrew's this, stand-up comic. Like, we had this great rapport, and I was like, he's too young, he's too handsome, he's too tall. I don't want to hire him because I don't want people to think like, oh, who does she think she is? Like, casting this younger. He's only like 2 years younger than me. I was just too insecure. I didn't want people to think I was just like being gross or
Right,
something,
yeah.
or like, who does she think she is? Thinking he would date her.
Right. So
And-
you were assuming something that may not have been the case.
Which is ridiculous
Yeah.
because it's like every guy in every movie gets
Yeah.
to date a 10 years younger hot girl. I mean, it's like, what's
Yeah.
the one with fucking,
and Andrew's good looking, but he's not like
not
Adam
Sid,
Sandler
Sid
is-
and Nancy. Yeah.
Adam said Simon Hayek, Kate Beckinsale. I mean, he's the
King of Queens.
Yeah, he's-
Kevin
Yeah.
James and Leah Remini. It's like, why can't
Woody Allen's the king
He's
of
what
that.
Adam.
Yeah.
He's what Pete Davidson is right now.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, so Andrew Schultz is an amazing actor, and then I put him in a movie, the one I wrote with Neil, and he has a scene with Blake Griffin, and they are so funny
yeah.
together. I will never forget this. Andrew Schultz won me over when he was improvising with Blake Griffin. He was a contractor, and Blake Griffin and him were just like fighting about like contracting work not being
Yeah, I
done or
remember
something.
that. Yeah,
And
yeah.
he goes, and Blake Griffin's like, and Blake is brilliant. Blake is so funny. Athletes are oddly amazing at comedy for a couple reasons I think we should talk about. But he looks at him and Blake is like slamming him, like trashing him, and Andrew just goes, "You smell like a pet store."
Now, why do you think athletes are so good? I'm curious.
Couple reasons.
Yeah.
Number
The
one,
CTE?
what's that?
Is it the CTE?
That would be football
The CTE.
players. Football players only.
Yeah.
Well, number one, he said that.
Because I find swimmers hilarious after they're done.
Really?
No, I'm being sarcastic.
Okay, let me backtrack on my generalization.
No,
The NFL
The funny thing is to support it.
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
So the NBA players that I know, I'm like, why are you guys so funny? Number one, they are in groups very young and have to defend themselves very young of being bullied.
Good point.
Right? Okay.
Good
So
point.
you're already going, okay, you're in sports by the time you're 5'6", you're getting bullied in the locker room. You already have to defend yourself, right? So those people that survive that go to the next tier. They go to the AAU, whatever it is, the local, community they get bullied, whatever. They have to charm the stands. They have to be fun. But it's timing. Dun, dun, sh, dun, dun, sh. It's timing. There's like that millisecond timing that makes something hilarious versus funny, and that shot go in versus hit the rim that you can't articulate. I'm going to sound like an idiot. Halston, who's making the show, that frame, cutting one frame out makes that joke funnier. I can't tell you why.
Right.
It's a timing thing. It's about surprise. It's timing.
Right.
And Blake Griffin has comic timing, and it kind of makes sense, but I can't tell you why. It must be the same part of the brain.
So why aren't the thousands of other NBA players who played in the league, why aren't they funny?
Look, I checked in on my Raya recently, and I know they're distracted. They're very distracted.
They're distracted by women.
It's Coachella this week.
Yeah, Coachella.
No, but here's what I'll say.
But the first part of that made a lot of sense to me. They're in a group. They got to
stay with me.
Yeah.
Stay with me.
Trash
Then,
talking.
Yeah.
Blake told me they watched Comedy Central growing up constantly. So also there would have to be that part of it. Like they were like, we watched Chappelle's Show, we watched Anchorman, we all we do is watch comedy movies in the locker room. Blah, blah. And I grew up watching comedy that isn't necessarily like, I feel like what happened was I grew up because I had an older brother and I was watching National Lampoon's
Have.
Did I say had?
You said
I had an older brother, still have him.
Right.
Thank you. We're in a simulation. It's fine.
You're what?
I said we're in a simulation. It's fine.
It's true, yeah.
So I had an older brother. Why do I say that? Is that a
I
Southern
don't know, you
thing?
just said it again. Maybe, it could be.
I know. I tried to say what I would naturally say.
Yeah, I had an older brother.
I had an older
That's
brother.
weird. It is
growing
weird.
up, I had an older brother.
'Cause
You wouldn't say
growing up,
growing up, I
I
have an older brother.
I have an older brother. I say I have an older brother growing up.
Growing up, I had an older brother.
Or
So it's past tense.
I have an older brother and growing up.
Yeah, but I'm not writing a paper.
Okay, I'm
for
just trying to
the
be
American Scholastic
This is like trying to
Foundation.
write a Biden speech. Jesus
I mean,
Christ.
I'm just trying to be right now, even though I know you're right.
You're alt right.
Yeah, I am. Alt
We
right.
all know that. So so where now I'm lost.
So the brother that you had,
Who was older at the time.
He was older at the
when you
time.
had him.
So
Yeah,
I watched
brother
the
you
movies
had-
he watched.
Right.
So if you had an older brother,
So you were watching Porky's
or
while
older,
he was...
I was watching older stuff
Yeah.
for a while, and then my dad. So I was watching that, Trains, Planes, and Automobiles, Three Amigos, Ruthless People. We didn't have money, so we would take Blockbuster videos and
So
just
you didn't grow up with any money?
keep them. No, everyone thinks I grew up with money. Why is that?
Because aren't you from Chevy Chase or
Huh?
something?
No.
Yeah.
So I grew up in Washington, D.C.
Yeah.
And my mom worked at
What part of
Mazda.
Washington, D.C.? Remember, I went to school there.
Silver Spring?
You want to do this?
Yeah, I want to do this.
Okay, because this is gonna make it even worse.
Okay.
Because there's a lot of things I can't say
Uh-huh.
for legal reasons. But
Uh-huh.
I did grow up in Georgetown in an apartment.
I'm going to do the Roman Emperor
not
thing.
paid for by my
You're poor. Yeah.
and then I went back and forth from there to Roanoke, Virginia.
Okay. So you're middle class, lower middle class. Middle class?
Sure.
Yeah,
I don't.
sure.
Yeah. Is there
Yeah.
a middle class anymore?
Not anymore. No, not anymore. Yeah.
The glory days. And
Yeah.
so we would take videos from Blockbuster and just keep them. And so we'd watch the same movies over and over again. And though that style of comedy was like, it's interesting. I look back and I'm like, oh my God, that's like, it's slow, it's patient. National Lampoon's European Vacation, Three Amigos. It's silly. And then when you get to Comedy Central, I'm kind of like obsessed with TV history. Chuck Klosterman. Have you read Chuck Klosterman at all?
No.
Sex, Drugs, and Cocoa Puffs is a great book. He's a pop culture art critic and talks about how our attention span changed after MTV Cribs. Randomly. The
Which you
MTV
just did.
editing, which I
Yeah.
just did,
Yeah.
the reboot of at the house. And so that like editing of like, like when they would take those like two frame, like quick frames, quick cuts, it was 7 seconds. So it's like there is some science saying that our attention span, every 7 seconds we get distracted, which is why the great orators are always encouraged to change something every 7 seconds, whether it's your body language, the tone of your voice. I mean, they say Trump studied this, Hitler studied this, Stalin, all the great
All
orators.
the greats.
Know that on some level you have to do something every 7 seconds. Like they were great orators.
The Mount Rushmore.
I didn't say great humans.
No, I get it.
But they know how to keep people watching them.
Right,
You
right.
know, there's some people that just have that magnetism, whatever, but they know on some level that they have to kind of like Joel Osteen. Like if you watch him, like he has studied this.
Incredible, yeah.
Every 7 seconds he's doing some kind of thing to keep your attention going.
He needs some new fucking material though.
Yeah.
He's like a couple thousand
Does
years
he?
old.
I don't know.
I mean,
He's got like Larry the Cable Guy numbers at this point.
does,
Touring wise. Live
yeah.
Nation is like, hey girl.
But like somebody else wrote his stuff.
I think Barry Castro signed him.
Yeah, he's
Someone
playing
else-
arenas. Yeah, I would love to open for Joel Osteen. That would be great.
Joel Osteen. How much money does he have?
He's got
check
a
his
lot
walls.
of money. Yeah, check
Sometimes-
his walls. Yeah,
Do you
that
ever
was a
go
good
to do you ever
story.
go to airports at like 4 a.m. and Joel Osteen is on like the TVs? What's that?
100 million.
He has $100 million. That's such a cartoonish amount of money.
He's
Like,
got $100 million.
that feels like it's been rounded
Yeah.
either down or up.
It's probably that though. I mean, think about it. He's
From
like
what ticket sales?
he's like the Fluffy of the God scene.
Yeah.
Fluffy
He's
sold
about to
out
sell
He
out
does
Dodger
stadiums.
Stadiums.
Dodgers Stadium.
Yeah, and Joel Osteen does stadiums.
Isn't it to get famous with your name being Gabriel Iglesias? To get famous with your name and then to get famous with a new name,
Yeah,
a nickname.
yeah, Fluffy. Yeah, you think there's a lot of pastors or like preachers look at him going like, it's fucking the industry loves him. They pushed him. You know, I could have been him. Still playing their little church.
But I
going
do
like,
think
maybe I
if
should start a
you're- if you're-
podcast or put my sermon in clips.
If you're a famous church person, you hustled. And also there's what goes up must come down. That's going to be a Netflix documentary in 10
So you
years.
think Joel Osteen's going to crash? Yeah,
You don't?
he survived that Money and Wall thing pretty good.
Money and Wall, and
yeah.
also
I
he
don't know if you
survived
heard that story.
No,
yeah.
I
What
didn't.
was it? 70K?
Yeah, he had
or
like
700K.
like 700K in his bathroom wall.
in the bathroom wall of his church that was reported stolen.
The plumber was working and he found it.
Yeah.
And he was like, yo, what's
yeah,
this?
and that
So-
story came and went.
And also he got over the not allowing the homeless people to go in his church.
Yeah,
when
that was another one.
When the natural disasters occurred in Texas, he closed his doors.
He closed his doors.
So people
yeah.
were like, oh, you
He did personally?
He did.
Yeah, he did. Like he owns
did.
the church. He
Yeah.
did not.
Those were two of them, and he somehow God is on it. Maybe God is
The guy,
Baptist.
he has Justin Bieber's PR.
Yeah, he's got whoever. He's got Saudi Arabia's PR and Justin Bieber's
Yeah.
PR. Yeah.
So what why is it wrong to have money in your walls?
Well, he reported it stolen.
Okay.
He reported it stolen.
He reported the money
He
stolen.
reported money stolen.
Yes.
I'm sure there's some sort of insurance situation.
Okay.
And then he put it, or somebody put it.
The Holy Ghost.
Yeah, the Holy Ghost put it in the bathroom wall of the church, and the plumber was playing with the toilet, and he found 700K in the wall.
And he offered him like 20,000 to stay quiet about it.
That didn't happen, but that's
Yeah.
what I would have done.
Yeah.
I would have been like, "Hey, man, like I found 700. I could go to the press, or just cut me off 100K,
Or let me open
and,
for you."
yeah,
Who name one person like this surprises me zero.
of course,
Zero.
because you're saying like there's always
Name one person that doesn't have some sketchy like is there anyone?
you're pure as snow. You got a clean record.
Like who is it?
You.
Who's the person?
Yeah, the only thing that's on your walls is blood.
Yeah, I mean, you love horses. You save
No, I'm
giraffes.
just saying, like, I just feel like there is.
Well, you've done nothing wrong.
I'm just saying, like, this thing, like, when are we going to stop being like, but what about that thing?
Right. Everyone's got a thing.
Everyone's got a thing.
Everyone's
Who
got a
cares?
thing.
He put 70. I'm hot take.
It's his own money, right? It's
What
his
if,
own money.
what if he's right?
Yeah.
What if he has $700,000? If I had that much cash, I'd put it in a fucking wall and lie to somebody about it.
Yeah. What if he says, this is how much I don't care about money because Jesus didn't care about money, that I use it as insulation behind the toilet
It's
Yeah.
very rare.
where it gets cold.
It's very rare that I see someone that make a mistake and go, I mean, my therapist drilled this into my head. Go like, yeah, I probably would have done that too. I mean, I saw Mike Tyson hit someone on a plane the other day. I was like, if I had Mike Tyson's body, I would do that all the time.
That kid deserved
Yeah,
it.
he
that
deserved
kid
it.
deserved
You
it.
Why-
should get punched for having a haircut that bad in the first place, but he did deserve it.
He
Yeah.
deserved it, yeah.
That guy was a nightmare, right?
Yeah.
I don't know all
he
the
was
details.
drunk. He was like harassing him.
He was taunting him. And look,
Yeah.
you've been around more fighters than I have. I've been around some. I mean, even walking around with Brendan Schaub 5-6 years ago, people come around up to him. They're like, hey man, want to fucking hit? Like they taunt them. People,
Yes, I mean, they
punks
do.
taunt
They do.
fighters.
They
They
do.
want to get hit. They want the story. They want the photo. They want to sue them. They want to fuck with them.
Yes, it's true. You deserve to get hit. Yeah, if you fuck with a fighter, you deserve to get
It's
hit.
very funny.
Fuck around, find out.
But how is the kid not dead?
Because I think
I don't think
He
Mike
didn't get-
Tyson, he didn't want to do that.
Yeah, I
though.
don't think he
But
was
Mike
hitting
was
over the
in
seat
his-
too.
he was in his pod.
Yeah,
Oh.
he's hitting over the seat.
He's pulling punches for
yeah,
sure.
he's pulling punches.
Yeah.
I think the guy was like, I don't think he was in a position where he could be. If they were in the street and it wasn't like behind a seat, he
Yeah.
could have hurt. He could kill
First
him with
class got a
punch.
lot of cushion on it.
Yeah, there's a
I
lot. He couldn't get over
remember-
that bed. He was
Yeah.
trying to get over that first class bed.
Because I remember when I first moved to LA, my first celebrity sighting, I am in the Coffee Bean, Hollywood and Highland, and Mike Tyson's there. Just like, I'm here like 2 weeks, and there's 9 huge dudes around Mike Tyson. And I'm like 21, and I'm like, hey, man, we're waiting for coffees, and I'm like, don't say anything. Say something. And I like one of the security guards, or whatever. I'm like, they really think Mike Tyson needs security. Do you think he needs protection? And they're like, oh, we're not here to protect him from other people. We're here to protect other people from him.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, there's a little bit.
And
of
I was
both.
like, it blew my mind. It was like, oh no, these 6 men are prepared to fight Mike Tyson at any point.
yeah. Well, they just they want to keep you away from him because you could get hurt by Mike Tyson.
Correct.
Are you?
And he's a human weapon, isn't it? Aren't they licensed?
Yes,
It's like
you can't if you're a professional.
if someone hits Rogan, if someone hits Mike Tyson and they hit back, they go to jail. Because they're aren't they in like a registry, Halston, as like a human weapon? You work with Bert
Yeah.
Kreischer. You know what
But
it's
I
like to work with an Adonis.
But I think if they hit you, it still can be self-defense. But if you hit them,
It's illegal. It's like illegal.
it's a legal.
Ronda
weapon.
Rousey can't just hit someone at a party.
No,
Like
she
she'll
can't
go to
hit
jail.
someone anywhere. She's more of a judo thrower, but her stand-up game, her striking game is not good.
Yeah.
But if Amanda Nunes, she can't hit someone,
Okay.
right? Unless they're a guy.
Where does Rousey go from here?
Rousey's in the WWE.
She got
She's married.
bank. Yeah.
She's married. She's a big star in the WWE.
That's incredible.
yeah. I can't believe you stopped following her career.
Can I tell you something? I'm a huge fan. I'm a massive fan, and I was just going like, oh, as someone that is like in a business where it's like you expire, because I feel like guys were like, she's so like we're into her as how hot she was, how
was
good she
hot.
was.
I interviewed her and we flirted, and my fiance, who was my wife at the time, was not happy about that. I'll show you the interview.
Oh, I was in a relationship. She's ruined so many of my relationships. Every guy
Yeah.
I've ever been with has been obsessed with her, and it like
That
has
nice
fucked-
little freckle that's like misshapenly placed. That's
She's
not-
a cute. She's got like a
She's funny. She's
Yeah.
smart. She's
Yeah.
quick. She's self-effacing.
If she took my lunch money, I would enjoy it.
yes.
She
She's
knows,
that type.
She
Yeah.
knows who she is. Like she's just an animal. But no, I was thinking about it because she had a movie career, and I meant more. Where does she go from here in terms of like, is her body shot? I'm a comedian.
Right.
I can hardly hump the stool anymore.
Right. right.
I didn't realize how. I used to say all the time, I'm like, comedy's a sport. It's not an art. It's a sport. It's a sport. I always used to say that because I'm so physical on stage. I have catcher's knee. I have tennis. I have clown lung.
I just thought of like this, like a older black comic. He's got a big hump in the stool bit, but he's older, and he's just trying to get in there. And he's like, but he blows out his knee or something right in the middle. He's like, gotta go in the comedian injured reserve. He can't do that bit for a while.
It's annoying because it's like now it's like when you are so good at writing jokes, but you can't physically execute them because your body won't.
Yeah. Let me ask you: are you team Johnny Depp or are you team
Oh wow.
Heard? Are you Ukraine or Russia? Coke or Pepsi?
This is a tricky one. Those are not analogous.
Good word.
Thank
Analogous.
you.
She got smarter.
She's very smart.
Yeah.
She also you're also a former athlete.
Yeah.
You're a great joker.
We didn't wrap this up.
You got a lot going
And also,
on.
that's not an insult on the show. We say get smarter when he uses big words.
Yeah,
and
I
we
say
say get smarter if you don't know what
'cause
that
if
means.
they
I
don't-
love that. I love that.
Yeah. I tell fans to get smarter.
I'm a fan of you guys.
And then-
I'm a fan. I listen to History. Like I'm a fan of you.
Yeah, he tells
You're
our fans to
brilliant.
get
I will
smarter.
not let you self-deprecate. I love you, and I'm not gonna joke
It's
about
okay.
it.
You could say you're a fan of him because he's going to have a big career, and I'm playing out the clock in my career. My career is just garbage time.
Yeah.
The score's over.
That's
I'm
not
in.
true, dude.
I'm
Yours
just
are Rodney
joking.
Dangerfield,
Yeah,
dude.
he's-
Thank you. I'm going
Rudy,
to make it at 60.
He's
Rudy.
he thinks
the
he's Brett
Rudy.
Favre and I'm Aaron Rodgers, but I got vaccinated.
Yeah, I'm Brett Favre. Yeah.
It's good. At least we'll always know where you are.
Yeah.
At least we can track
Because I
you.
cannot stop watching this trial. I'm enjoying
Okay,
it.
I just need to write this down really quick about the Blake Griffin thing because I'm not going to let my ADD. I let it ruin my podcast. I won't let it ruin your podcast.
Okay.
So, Blake Griffin, when he came in to do ADR in post-production. So when you're making a movie, we'll record something together, and then later, sometimes the audio isn't good. There's an airplane, you have to re-record it, and you have to match it. And if you watch movies, sometimes you can see, like, when sometimes like the mouth isn't quite perfect with, or it's like a louder sound.
Or the audio is more crisper at certain moments. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. They did ADR. It's called looping later. I would say for most movies, TV shows, 30% of the audio you hear was done later in a booth, and they have to match their mouth. So if you say, like, welcome to Longdays with Yannis Podcast. That should be your name, by the way.
Right. It should be Yannis Podcast,
Yeah,
right?
Yannis Podcast.
Yannis Papcast. Papcast?
Podcast, yeah.
Papcast.
Yeah.
The Papcast.
The Papcast.
Yeah.
Wow, that's nice.
Yeah.
And you say the audio sucks, you have to go and you have to watch it, and you have to go, like, welcome to the Longdays with Yannis Podcast.
Yeah.
Beep, beep, beep. Welcome to Yannis. Blah, blah, blah. Beep, beep, beep. Like, you have to do it over and over again. It takes me 45 minutes to get one line. I'm awful at it. Like, you have to repeat the exact performance and match your own mouth. Blake Griffin came in because I had Cecily Strong with him. I was an indie movie, had no money, we were running out of money.
Another one of my crushes, Cecily Strong.
Cecily Strong?
When I was
I have
younger.
a crush on Cecily Strong.
Mm-hmm.
I listened to her on a podcast the other day just to listen to her. I never do that.
So those Chicago comedians, man.
Dude, there's something about it.
If we don't get to this Blake Griffin
So
denouement,
he gets it. This is called Longest Day. This is the longest podcast.
What did Blake Griffin do?
He comes in to do ADR. I block out like 8 hours. So I'm like, oh, he's done commercials, but like, I just want to give him time. Comes in, looks at it. He has to like say a monologue to Cecily Strong. Looks at it, watches it once, nails it.
Wow.
I mean, but that's what athletes have to do. They have to replicate.
Right.
Replicate. And they are like teachable, coachable. They don't get like, what, I have to fix this thing? What, it's perfect. It's good. Why do it's just like, boom. There's no questions asked. There's no ego. Which is ironic because I think you have to have a certain amount of ego and narcissism and be like, I'm the best in the world, whatever. But there's like a humble narcissism line that the greats really.
And comedians are always like, want to do it their way, right? So we don't take instruction well, right?
Yes, but I think that great athletes, great comedians, they operate in seconds.
Yeah.
Whereas other people operate in maybe minutes or hours or whatever. We operate in seconds.
What kind of hooper was Whitney Cummings? Were you a role player? Were you a star?
Where did you hear about this, Sarah?
I mean, I know you.
Yeah.
I know you now.
But you haven't seen me play basketball.
Of course I haven't seen you play. I did see you shoot. I've seen you shoot. You have
But
good
did you
form.
see me?
I saw you on the Instagram I saw you in your high school uniform.
Did you see? Because I did. This was maybe during the pandemic.
You're a tall drink of water. You're about 5'10".
During the pandemic, my friend Nick dared me, or basically was like, let's see how many.
Our friend Nick.
Okay,
Right.
well,
This is my
Nick
best
doesn't
friend.
like anyone, and he loves you. And Nick, my best friend, he basically was like, let's see how many free throws you can do in a row. And I think I did 14
Nice.
in a row.
Nice.
I think it was 14.
Were you small forward?
So I
four?
was weird that we called it power forward.
No, power forward. Yeah.
But what is that? What's the difference
That's a
between forward
four.
and power forward?
That's a 4. A forward is.
Because I think power bottom now.
Yeah, that too. You can be power bottom, power forward.
Ruined it for me.
They're kind of different. But a forward is a forward refers to the small forward and the power forward. Forward is the generic.
Forward.
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 Forward. Forward. Yeah.
Say it.
Forward. Forward.
At different times.
Forward. That sounded like Ford.
Yeah, a little bit, right?
Yeah, I rented
said
a
it
Ford
purposely.
Mustang again.
Yeah.
It's forward.
Forward.
Yeah.
Sorry, we're not proper white women.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Yeah.
we're from a city and we talk like fucking peasants.
Yeah,
Forward.
so we don't grow our own tomatoes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I also say, I say
Forward.
draw instead of drawer.
What do you say?
Draw. Open the draw.
Yeah, I say draw.
Draw.
And I'm referring to my underwear, I say draws.
Draws.
Yeah.
Yeah, draws.
Okay. And
What do you say? How do you say draw?
A drawer?
Yeah, draw. What is that draw?
Yeah, you take the...
Yeah.
A drawer.
But that's how everyone outside of New York says draw. Like, I didn't know I had a New York accent until I went to summer camp when I was a kid, and people were like, and I'd say certain words, and they'd be like, oh, I'd be like,
What is the thing that a kid colors with?
A crayon. I don't tolerate that crayon shit, all right? Get that shit out of here. You say
call it a
crayon,
crayon?
son. Yeah, nah.
Crayon?
Crayon.
Crayon, yeah.
Crayon.
Yeah, crayon.
Motherfuckers
Okay.
from Pennsylvania say crayon.
Crown.
Yeah.
Crown.
Or crown. Like,
Crown.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, well, crayon. I mean, there's been a lot of offenses from crayon.
How do you say-
your community? The nude used to be beige.
How do you say?
Wait, whose community?
Crayons.
Oh, okay.
Used to be the color nude was beige,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
and they had to change it.
Yeah. Oh, wait, that's stupid.
Yeah, because they were like, nude is just beige.
Right.
How fucked up is that?
What are we talking about now?
How you pronounce things? So when someone, when the mafia kills someone,
I just heard what community are you talking about in the word beige?
You said your community. I thought you were talking about the black community.
look, I'm coming for crayons.
Okay.
Crayons used to have, well, maybe, no, I am, is that they used to have the word, the color nude
Yeah, I got you.
was beige in the crayon box.
So there was crayons for
It's like
Black
only
kids?
white. Nude isn't only white.
nude. Nude can also be beige or yellow.
Am I not making sense?
No, she's saying
Halston?
nude is beige, but like if you have a nude model, not all of them are going to be white. Well, probably most of
If
them
I
are
want to
white.
draw,
but, you know.
if I'm a
Well,
black
it depends
child,
where you are.
Yeah.
No, if I'm
you're
a-
in Scandinavia, they're going to be white.
But if you're in Turks and Caicos, it's a different story.
Yeah,
if you say nude is beige,
Yeah.
you're saying white is the only thing that exists.
got it.
Yeah.
Got it.
There was no
Nice.
representation in the crayons.
Good
Got
job.
it.
I like it.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yes.
It's like
Yeah.
Band-Aids.
Yes. Band-Aids.
Remember
in
that
color.
rigmarole?
Yeah.
Yeah. So are there black Band-Aids yet?
They
Yes,
are. They have been.
many,
Yes,
many.
Are there
many.
yellow Band-Aids for people who have liver damage?
I thought you were going to say for the Orientals.
I said liver damage.
Yeah, you
Whitney,
said
you don't
Orientals.
say that. And you
Yeah.
just said Orientals
Jesus
too.
Christ.
She meant Oriental rug because remember, you can say Oriental if it's in context
Yes,
of furniture.
Yeah, but she sounded like the manager.
What
of the
about
railroad.
lantern?
Lantern.
What about
Lantern.
Chinese finger trap?
Chinese finger trap.
Chinese-
Ask me how I say it?
No, I'm asking. Oh, okay. I want to get back to that. But what are the words we can't say?
We can't.
Are there some new ones?
You can't say.
Indian giver.
You can't say Indian giver.
Yeah.
You can't say Redskins.
No.
You can't say Chiefs.
No. Well, Chief, let me ask you a
You
question.
can't say trans woman.
Let me ask you a
It has to be
question.
woman.
Yeah.
You can't.
What
say,
about, because my assistant was used to be secretary.
Yeah.
And then I said, what about chief of staff? I call her chief of staff. And then I went, uh-oh.
Wait, Emily is your chief of staff.
Not Emily. Emily's my showrunner and she's on the podcast. But Grace, my assistant,
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh, I'll call her chief
She's-
of staff.
She's the assistant to office
But
joke.
chief, can you say chief if it's a chief of staff?
If you have a native person, yes, you can.
So I can't say chief of staff. But she's also from Kansas City.
You have to fire her, and you have to hire someone native.
It's
And that's
ceremonial.
it. That could be a great excuse. If you need to fire her, just be like, listen, I was calling you my chief of staff.
Okay, and it's your fault.
And I have to get a native person to fill your role.
And then what about French fries?
They're freedom fries, goddammit.
What about Mexican standoff?
Mexican standoff.
Because what is it? Where is the line of not
What is a Mexican
using a word
standoff?
that traditionally was used to oppress and erasure?
If you have two guys
Of
who are
credit.
competing to do your gardening in LA, can you call that a Mexican standoff?
Yes. Or if there's a Home Depot and a Lowe's next to each other and
Yeah.
they're both standing out there for work, that's a real Mexican
That's
standoff.
a Mexican standoff.
Yes.
You can do it that way.
Yeah, so
But
that
I don't think
counts.
you can do it with a gun.
Yeah, no.
You can't do that.
No.
Yeah, that was the gayest gun. You can't do that. You can't do that.
Yeah.
What again about the trans woman?
You can't. Well, you can't say trans women. They're women.
Okay.
So no trans women.
And so after you did Rogan, did you get any?
no. Any
rigmarole?
bump? No.
I mean, did you get any like feedback?
Like negative feedback?
Yeah, or just like any like.
No.
Have you gotten any feedback recently? Like any new like, oops, can't say that, can't do that.
He got
No.
feedback from Louis last night. He said he was fucking funny.
Yeah, Louis did.
And
Louis was at the improv.
And
He
his
was at
voice
the
went
improv.
up 8 octaves.
Yeah.
How was it?
It was good.
Yeah.
Louis is funny. And yeah, Louis was very emphatically complimentary of me. And I said, listen, fella, just keep it in your pants about me,
It was,
okay?
yeah, it was historical.
You're getting a little, yeah.
Louis is the first Grammy winner that I've seen more $47 pair worth of New Balances on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you had a hard time getting that one out.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I wasn't sure if it was the right shoe.
Yeah, you killed the rhythm, but Blake Griffin would have nailed it.
Yeah, he would have nailed it. Yeah.
Okay, did I
Can we
sufficiently wrap
ASMR
that up? Did
My
I
fault.
sufficiently wrap that up?
Whitney, you never sufficiently wrap anything up.
Yeah, that's fair.
You
That's
always
fair.
go, and that's why I
Except
love
the
it.
bodies in the basement.
Yes.
Except those.
Yeah.
Except the babies that I took the blood from to put on my
the
face.
baby blood.
Do people really think I put baby blood on my face?
I don't care. I don't ask questions. All I know is that Bloody Mary was delicious.
It's haggis. It's a traditional food of England.
No, you don't wrap me there because you go in a lot of different directions. That's why I love listening to
But
you
I
because
want to
you're
shut
thorough.
up. I want to shut
I don't want you to ever shut up. The world doesn't want you to shut up. I would never tell a woman, a strong, empowered woman, to shut up.
Sometimes you have to. Sometimes women run our fucking mouths and we talk too much.
Yeah, you do.
I don't want to get
You got
into this.
smaller brains and you need to go back in the kitchen.
No,
but
it's
I
not
didn't say it.
We don't
I
have
would never
smaller
tell you
brains.
that
We have
personally.
smaller skulls, and our brains are smaller, but they jam the same number of brain cells into a smaller space.
So why is the basketball smaller if your brain's not smaller?
Well, our hands are smaller.
Yes, everything's smaller.
But our brains are smaller. But
And
we
your
have
dicks are smaller too.
But we have
They're
the same.
tiny.
We have the same amount of brain cells in the smaller space.
I don't buy
I
it.
made a movie about this.
You did.
I'm in the red.
A lot of people don't know. You've written movies, shows, fucking specials, and letters to companies that you were upset with.
And Yelp reviews for healers that made me drive to Venice to their hotel room who did not help me talk to my dead mother.
Are you team Johnny Depp? Are you?
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Are
Sorry.
you team Amber Bird?
I'm trying to
Amber
find you
Heard.
this. I'm trying to find you the video, the basketball video.
No, find it.
Okay, so look.
Have you ever done one thing at a time?
No, if I did, I
No.
tried once and I immediately started sobbing.
Because I think you just handed me, at that point, you put your makeup on at the same time as handing me 6 drinks somehow.
I'm also
Yeah.
starving.
Yes.
This was an ambush.
There's
this
your
is
foot.
This
Yep,
is an
there it
ambush
is.
podcast.
Why every time I do a podcast with you does your foot come out?
I don't know. I'm in my home. Why not? Because I'm.
You're the best.
I was.
I
Just
love
with-
you, Whitney.
I just started working out with this trainer who
I don't care.
electric.
No, I'm joking. I mean,
Okay, you want to get to the dirt? Let's get to
No.
hot goss. Amber Heard and
are either
Johnny
one of them
Depp.
your friends?
What?
Are either one of them your friends?
No.
Okay, so talk freely.
I do have this secret thing in the back of my head that's like, well, I mean, I could play a fucking like a wine wench in Pirates of the Caribbean. I don't want to burn that bridge.
You could.
I
see
would
that.
be a great,
Yeah.
You
like
do.
old witchy witch.
Not old.
Like
Oldish.
I could be like the dead body on the island that they find.
Yeah, you could play that. Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you could play that. You could also play a normal role too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You don't have to be dead
Okay.
or old.
Okay. So I'm not burning this. Here's the thing. I listened to that. I don't know why.
Are you watching the trial at all?
No, I'm not watching the trial, but I listened to the fight. Have you listened to the audio tape of their
Have
fight?
I listened to it?
Have I jerked off to it?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's the best.
I mean, it.
Why are you taking my boots off? Yeah,
I
Amber.
ultimately feel like they should be together.
I think they want to fuck.
I think they love each other very much.
Yeah.
I think that this is all a sex game that we're all participating in. I think we're
it's
all
like
in a giant kinky
True
mess.
love, right? Didn't Shakespeare said the course of true love never did run smooth?
Was Shakespeare
Was
really
that Shakespeare or Usher?
Isn't there some theories that there were a bunch of people that actually made up Shakespeare?
I bet you it was a woman and he took all the credit because of the patriarchy.
I'm just saying, wasn't there? I think that, I don't know. I was reading something recently that was like, there's no way he could have made that much shit in that amount of time. It was a lot of people doing it.
Yeah, he had another writer that he stole from, or he put.
They say that, but I
Yeah.
mean, I don't think anyone.
They, you mean is someone that identifies as they, or just many people?
Yeah, they. My friend Steve.
When someone says they now, I'm like, so it's one person.
Who are we talking about here? Talking
How
about
many
her?
people do I put on the reservation?
Yeah. Can they fit in my car? I have one seat. Okay.
Is the singular person fat, or is it 4 people?
Yeah. I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know? I'm trying to find you this video.
Oh, find me the video.
But let me ask you. Look, I'm not the person to throw stones at other people's toxic relationships. As someone who has,
Aren't toxic relationships the best sex, though?
I am so.
What's your deal with that?
whatever about sex.
You're asexual.
I'm not asexual.
You're
I'm
just
just
power
like,
hungry.
I think.
I want to know what motivates you. Some people are motivated by sex. Some people are motivated by just sheer
sex
power.
to me, I think, but maybe it's just because like as you get older, you're like, oh, like I can do that. I could have done that on my own. I didn't like need all that.
Are you control? What motivates you?
I love eating.
Do you love love?
Okay, here's what it is. I had eating disorders for so long that now that I don't and I can eat, it's like when you're full. Like Cassie David wrote that this op-ed. Larry David's daughter, too full to fuck. about like just fucking when you're full of food.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's just more like if we're gonna have sex later, I can't have the dinner I want if I'm gonna fuck later because ass is always on the table now. So it's like it's a little as more holes are now have been introduced to the menu. You have to think ahead more.
Right.
You know, I feel like sex. I have to think ahead a bit, which sometimes takes the fun out of it.
Yeah, a little bit. If you're thinking
Don't
about
you think? I'm like,
dinner,
I can't order the lasagna because we're gonna, you know what I mean? Now I had a salad. I'm mad at you.
You gotta use your host responsibly.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I don't know. I sex is like I'm fine with it.
Right. You just do it. Do you enjoy it?
Yes,
Yeah.
totally.
Yeah.
But I think that
What do you enjoy the most besides rescuing giraffes? I know that's up
I'm
there.
an adrenaline junkie.
You're adrenaline.
I'm an adrenaline bitch.
Get it.
I'm like a adrenaline through and through, epigenetic imprinting. Like once I learned about that, everything kind of like clicked into place for me. I was like, oh, in utero, the chemicals, the neurochemicals that your host, that was psychotic.
Oh, you called your mom a host?
That's psychotic.
Wait, I want to just sit in that for a second.
That was,
I'm enjoying that.
I just scared myself.
Yeah, that was weird. Yeah, that was weird. But listen, that
spooked me.
Yeah, that's
I'm
a little weird.
spooked.
You called her a host.
I was trying to think of a word that wasn't like your mom.
You were trying to think of a word that was accurate.
Well, you have a smart audience.
Reflective of your relationship
I was trying
with
to
her.
impress them, and I came off like a sociopathic robot.
Yeah. Yeah.
The host.
So when you're
Hi, Mom.
I know because sometimes I talk about. So when you,
So you guys are close.
You're trying to do something with the negative qualities of your primary caretaker. People are like, "What's that?" I'm like, "Your mom." You're like, "You mean your mom?" I'm like, "Yeah, your primary caretaker." I'm very formal with my family.
Very formal. So your primary caretaker.
Yeah. So
your
as
host,
as
and the sperm donor.
as the offspring. Yeah. So when you're in your mom.
You didn't even say that.
Yeah, I'd rather you go back to host now. I'd rather you go back to host.
The host came off more loving.
Yeah.
The word host had more emotion in it than the word mom. You said the word mom like I just gave you a black licorice candy. You're like, oh.
By the way, my favorite candy.
Oh, is that?
I love black licorice.
Then what's the one you hate? Because that's what that one was.
Yeah. I'm a black licorice person.
Okay, well.
Which probably tells you everything you need to know.
Yeah, that makes sense too.
You know what it is? I love vulnerability, family stuff. I get very awkward. I can't.
That was my favorite moment of the podcast.
Because I'll just start.
My mom.
I'll just start. I have to like make a joke out of it, or like.
Can you at least act like this?
I'll just start sobbing.
Yeah.
Crying.
Yeah.
If I say like my mother, I'll start crying.
Wow. Why? What's going on there?
You know.
Issues, huh?
You met me. Well, no, I mean, my family situation is like pretty hard.
Right.
And
that's why you're a comic.
So
you're tearing up now?
Well, yeah.
Yeah. I feel like James
Do you
Lipton
want
or
to see
something.
the other version?
I feel like this is
The other version, yeah.
Jerry Maguire. So you got the contract. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to make you cry.
No, it's okay.
Yeah.
I'm just telling you, this is the other option. This is the other option.
Right.
If I'm not going comedy, defenses, jokes, or like seem smart, It's just I will just start crying.
Right.
You know, it's something.
Things are tough.
Mickey Rourke.
Nice pivot.
Yeah. I mean, that really gonna start crying. You bring up Mickey Rourke.
No, that was a nice pivot. Let's go from the tough
When
stuff
I
to
asked
Mickey
my
Rourke.
plastic surgeon for his face, no,
You're not going to end up looking like Mickey Rourke. Are you going to stop?
No.
You haven't got anything.
No,
What have you gotten?
I get lasers.
Yeah.
Okay, so I get something called Ulthera. I'm very open about this. I don't give a shit.
I know.
Also, if you have a problem with it, fucking fine, dude.
Yeah.
I don't know. Everyone, steroids, hair plugs, everyone's doing fucking something.
Right.
And like
most women do it. A lot of women do it.
I mean, if you can afford it, but like,
Yeah.
you know, it's. I posted a photo of my baby picture. I looked like I had plastic surgery when I was 2.
Right,
Like
right.
I have a plastic surgery face, and
Right.
I lasered my face,
Yeah.
which took off all the hair, so it makes it like shiny.
Yeah.
You know, and then I put oil on my face all the time. It's
Yeah.
right here because that's what actually the irony is. That's what keeps your skin
Right
looking
now,
good.
you look very natural and youthful. You don't
Thanks.
look like,
Yeah.
you look very good.
I don't.
Yeah.
Thank you. Oh, thanks, but I got money and I started taking care of myself and I know how to use makeup and I started using Ulthera. Ulthera is it's an expensive as shit laser that you have to take Vicodin and sometimes go under anesthesia for, and it lasers it fries your face.
Wait, I'm not sure. Is the Vicodin in it? That's part of the prescription? That's in there?
They
Yeah.
give
Or
it to
did you throw that in there?
A Vicodin. What do you mean?
You're like, when you got a cold, you got to take vitamin C, Vicodin.
Can
That's what they say.
Can I tell you something? I know this is going to blow everyone's mind.
Yeah.
I do not take painkillers. I didn't
think you did. Yeah.
I don't take Vicodin.
Is Vicodin a painkiller? Yeah, okay.
Vicodin, because here's the thing. I have family members that went to rehab for benzodiazepines I know a lot about them. I took when I got my wisdom teeth removed. I did Percocet when I was in college. I loved it.
Yeah.
I loved it in a way that I was like, I can never do this again. And thank God I didn't have health insurance. Thank God I wasn't able to get it any other way.
Yeah.
And family growing up in an opioid crisis.
Yeah.
Rebuilding a hotel in West Virginia. Like, I don't know why I haven't gotten the painkiller thing. Maybe it'll come.
No, let's hope it doesn't come.
I don't know why it's not, because my thing is like, my main drug is productivity.
Yeah.
Look very alert,
And
no, you get shit done.
if something slows me down, it's not my kink. I'm not into it.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like Adderall, Valium, Xanax. I was with someone, I was in Austin.
Yeah.
I was at the Paramount recently, and someone's backstage and they're like, hey, do you want a Xanax? And I was
The
like,
Republican Hollywood.
I mean, Hollywood is so much more conservative than people think or understand.
Everyone's liberal on the gram, but they're conservative in their accountant's office.
Yeah, correct. And when they vote.
Yes,
I mean,
and
that
when
was
they
the whole
vote.
thing with Trump, is that everyone thought Hillary was going to win because people lied on their exit when they left the polls. They said, I voted for Hillary.
They're like,
and they lied. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Trump. But no, everyone in Hollywood knew he's just great ratings.
Yeah.
The guy, you put him on any show and it's going to do well. I did the Trump roast.
Yeah.
It did great.
He's a star.
You know, he's a star.
Yeah, he's a star.
He's straight up. And so he's the Puck of the real world.
He is the Puck of the real world. He really is.
He just knows how to command your
He's
attention.
the Puck of the real world.
Wait, what was I just saying? I
You were
forgot.
talking about your beloved host.
No, but we got off track.
Yeah,
And the reason why you don't take painkillers because you.
Oh yeah, no,
productivity.
it's I don't know why I constantly feel the need to defend myself against doing. People think I'm like on drugs and painkillers and stuff. I really don't. I maybe should
No.
actually. If I took, that's the thing. If I took painkillers, people would probably think I was sober.
Right. Do you
Like,
take
she's-
any? Do you take anything?
I take Adderall. This
Yeah.
is going to blow your mind. I take 5 milligrams of extended Adderall to sleep.
That's because some people it has an opposite reaction.
Exactly.
On. Right.
So
Because that's why they give ADD kids it, right? Because it calms them down.
I do not know anything about medicating kids. I don't know. I can't even imagine the stress of that because I have a couple friends that have foster kids that are on these meds. I don't know if you should medicate kids. That's not my.
I think it should be left up to the kid. I mean, they could make a lot of other decisions. I think what medications they should take should be up there as well.
I have no fucking idea what to do with kids. If I'm in that situation, maybe I will. But I wasn't on anything until, by the way, Gary Goldman came on my podcast. And I was the first person to be like, antidepressants, a placebo effect is an effect, of all the side effects. Like, I mean, the side effects of antidepressants are so intense. I'm like, well, this outweighs that your dick doesn't work.
It's true.
Of course you're depressed. You can't fuck.
Right.
I'm going to be depressed if I can never come again.
Right.
None of it made sense. So I tried an antidepressant 7 years ago that was soporific. It was supposed to, the side effect was that it was to help you sleep. Lexapro. So I took that at night. And it was, but it was more like a sleeping pill because I have a really hard time sleeping. And which also, I think we've talked about this before, is not necessarily a bad thing. A lot of insomniacs, they're now saying, could be looking back at tribes. There were certain people in the tribes that were called the night watchers. And they're the ones that would stay up at night when the rest of the tribe would sleep. That were nocturnal. And the night watchers would breed with the night watchers. And then we inherited epigenetics, which we'll get back to. Basically, so there's some people that just at midnight, they're wide awake.
Yeah,
Right.
that's
And
good for back then because night
Totally.
watchers didn't have Oreos though.
Yeah, we were just bored at the wrong time. I was very useful 1,000 years ago. Now I'm a nightmare. But I never was on antidepressants. It didn't work for me. Tried one, not a match. Gary Goldman came on and he was talking about how interrupting people was a form of ADD and depression. Because I always thought depression was you're in bed all day. I'm I'm the opposite. I'm not in bed enough. I should sleep more. I'm not lethargic. I'm too hopeful. I'm too ambitious. I'm too talkative. I'm the opposite of depressed.
Right.
And I didn't know Prozac stops your brain from going on loops.
Right.
So one of my biggest problems was I'll leave this podcast and I'll go, that was stupid. You weren't funny. You weren't good enough. You wasted their time. This is gonna be a terrible episode. He's gonna hate you. Why did you say that? And I would spend 2 hours just on that loop,
Right.
And that serves us a little bit as comics. You go off stage and you're could have done that better. Probably could have, frankly, it serves you. But it was really becoming debilitating and I couldn't fall asleep because of it. and Gary Goldman started talking about it, and these like wheels started turning. For some reason, just talking to Gary, just with how great he was doing. I saw him that night at Largo. He was hilarious talking about mangoes. Like, I was just like, you know, I was like, I'm going to just ask about this. And I asked
You're like, what are you on?
a like what, how do I write jokes about grapefruits?
Right.
So I can't talk about dicks anymore.
Right.
And so I went to a psychiatrist for the first time after Gary came on the podcast. And
Then you finally got legally prescribed something.
that was like a year and a half ago. I went on 10 milligrams of Prozac in the morning and 5 milligrams of extended release Adderall to sleep.
And it's been good.
I think so. I mean, the
seem-
pandemic was I was taking edibles. We were drinking during podcasts.
It shook a lot of people up. Yeah.
Yeah,
The pandemic made especially comics took it real hard because that was the primary place where you get COVID and we couldn't do it. We couldn't get our addiction out. That was where our addiction is,
Can
really.
I ask you a crazy question?
Yes.
Can I make this podcast interesting? Do you mind?
Yes.
So Saget, Louis,
Rest in peace. Rest in peace to his career.
Gilbert.
Rest in peace.
Why did all this happen after the pandemic? Is it?
Vaccine. Absolutely.
No.
100%. Wait, I just got a thumbs up from Joe. I think he's watching.
I hate you so much. That, like, you can't ignore that timing. So there's two theories that could, number one.
Well, Gilbert was sick, right?
Sorry,
Gilbert wasn't he sick or something?
He was battling a lung disease, yeah.
And Saget's weird because that came out of left field.
I mean, is it like we were overcorrecting and working too much afterwards and stressing ourselves out? Or the whatever proclivities and coping mechanisms we employed during the pandemic, coming out of it, the readjustment period was too stressful? It does seem weird, the tonnage of people.
I think it was hard on everybody. I think it was hard on, I think a lot of people probably committed suicide during that time. I think they lost their jobs. They couldn't go outside. They couldn't see their family members. It was tough. We were isolated.
Because it's like people dying from COVID, and then after the pandemic ended, like 5 months later, a bunch of people just dropped dead.
Yeah, maybe it threw everyone off a little bit. I don't know.
Or like having to readjust.
I think it's also a registering of not being present because, you know, you focused on society not returning to what it was going to be.
Yeah.
And finally you get there and finally you're on that hill climbing back up and your body's there, but your mind doesn't necessarily register it. Mm-hmm. So like your body kind of just clocks out, you know?
Sure. Yeah. And I think we're just such a high octane, stressed out people as it is. That's what we do. We pound our bodies with adrenaline. And I think, you know, the pandemic was like that. I mean, I was on the phone with Tim Dillon every day. We're like,
I'm surprised you're not dead after that.
Dude, I mean, the damage I did to myself, not even COVID related, just being in the worry and the panic and the mask and like the way we stress ourselves, refresh the feed.
And you had COVID bad. To me and you, we had
Yeah,
bad.
oh yeah, we had it. That's how we first really bonded.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did ruin my friend's funeral in a COVID fog. Anyway,
but it's tough. I could see the pandemic would be very tough on a personality like yours, a go type of personality.
I think tough. Podcasting, I mean, thank God I had started because then I was like, let me just get good at this.
Yeah.
Let me get good at social media.
That was our outlet,
You know?
If it wasn't for that, I think there'd be some real damn. I think it could, without imagine having to go through the pandemic without the internet. Mm-hmm. Like not even the internet, like you're not connected. So then you wouldn't be connected at all. Like the internet really did come in as like a saving grace for us.
But, well, I mean, for comedians, I mean, it's interesting, and I don't want to forget about the epigenetic imprinting thing. And
I'm not going to forget about you commenting on Johnny Depp
and Amber Heard. Yeah, I just think it's hot.
That's fair enough.
Relationship goals.
That's fair enough.
No, what I was going to say is like...
do you think she shit on his bed, though?
Oh, is that? I thought she brought a dog from Australia that shit in his bed.
He claims she shit on the bed. He said it was human fecal matter. And he said he knows it wasn't the Yorkies.
Some people shit on each other.
They do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ask OBJ.
I think that once you're that rich and famous, there's no way a jury can ascertain what's normal. It's just sort of like the idea. It's like, then we drank this 18,000 bottle of wine and then she shit in my bed. It's like, wait, what? Like, I don't even know how to begin to judge you because I was annoyed a couple years ago.
A rich court.
At how much you spent on your wine. And that to me is the biggest crime here. Like he has a wine cellar that's $4 million worth of wine.
And the suit is for $50 million.
I know. It's like the shitting on the bed. Like we've all like, can you explain to me the $8,000 bottle of wine you bought that's in this affidavit? I don't give a shit about the fecal matter or the bloody hands.
How about this for society, right? We force like couples like that, famous couples with a lot of money. We force them into court, and then whoever wins has to donate all their winnings to charity.
A lot of charities are scams, but
Or
something.
like to society,
reparations.
something, right?
Yeah,
That would
like
be
maybe
great,
that's
right? That would be
reparations.
nice.
It's
Yeah.
like asshole rich celebrities
Yeah,
that are like
like-
fighting. Because by the way, all those lawyers are getting the money.
They're getting all the money.
Those
The people are
lawyers,
getting the money.
You know how psyched those fucking lawyers are? They're like, this
Oh.
is going to drag out forever. Because all these
Business.
divorce lawyers,
Yeah.
they're friends with each other. They go to lunch and they're
Yeah.
like, I'll drag this out a little. They're getting paid by the hour.
And that would keep celebrities on their best behavior, because if you mess up, then you got to go to court, and
Yeah.
you gotta whoever wins has to give their money to to study ivermectin and
Yeah.
its effects, the positive effects.
And make the judge Steve Harvey.
yes, the
What's
judge
up
Steve
with Steve
Harvey.
Harvey? Did he just get relevant again?
He's a judge now. He has a judge show.
He's a judge now?
Like he's trying to be the next Judge Judy?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
he has it. Like he's there.
Good for him.
Yeah.
Like a daytime talk show?
Yeah. No. He has a talk show and he's a judge now.
Can I tell you, Steve Harvey's book, Act Like a Lady, Think Like a Man, changed my life. It is, everyone will say it's wildly problematic, it's super sexist, but it is like
more than Tina Fey's
is-
book.
it
Changed
is
Kevin
like
Hart's life for
Iceberg
real.
Slim's pimp.
I remember you telling me about that chick.
It's brutal,
Yeah.
but it is like the Bible on human nature.
Yeah.
It's like Steve Harvey's like, you want to keep your man? Pretend you can't open the pickle jar. Ask for help. Wear a fucking skirt.
Yeah.
It's like that savage.
Right.
I did it. Changed my life.
Do you think, are you one of those people who thinks like the cruel truths are the truths? Are you a realist?
Okay,
Are you
you
an
ready?
optimist?
Are
Yeah.
you ready? Here's the video.
There
Okay.
you go. Finally.
I know, sorry.
Fucking Blake Griffin nailing a line. Is
Here's
that what
me
this
playing
is?
basketball, so you can really see how many I make. I think it's
All right.
13.
Fighters are not registered weapons, by the way.
They're not?
Yeah.
But don't
Used
they
to
get
hoop.
in more trouble if they
Well, there's no like governing
hit
to
someone?
register.
Like if Brendan Shaw punches someone, it's more than just an assault, right?
It hurts.
Form.
Who is rebounding for you here?
Nick.
Oh, that's Nick. Yeah, that is great form.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you were a good. Were you good?
years
Did you?
later.
Would you think about playing in college or?
I tried to play in college. The problem is that by the time that I was playing, I played in Europe for a while basketball. And
You
by
did?
And by the time I started playing like super competitive,
Yeah.
I got shorter and shorter. So I was
shrunk?
power forward. No,
Oh, right.
the girls got taller and taller.
Right,
So
yeah.
I was 5'10". A power forward at 5'10", that was tall. You're
Right.
a power forward. In Roanoke, Virginia, you're a power forward.
Right.
You know, when you're starting to work with the girls that ended up going to UConn and Tennessee, you're a point guard.
Right.
So then I had to learn how to dribble fast.
Right.
And then so when I started playing AAU and in Europe, I started playing point guard, which I actually liked way more.
Yeah.
Because more strategizing and stuff. But right at that same time, I started needing money and working as a model. And then I got an eating disorder, and the eating disorder kind of took over.
You modeled too, huh?
I did like a lot of like QVC. I did
Nice.
like fit modeling, which means you just like stand and they sew dresses on you for hours and hours.
Second-rate model, first-rate comedian. I
I
like that.
I was like, I would go to King of Prussia Mall and
Oh, wow.
walk around the Neiman Marcus. And I was like that annoying girl that was like, upstairs, these wedding dresses are on sale. Like I was like a perfume girl. Like I did
Yeah.
informal modeling, it was called. I
Yeah.
did maternity modeling, a pee in the pod. I
Yeah.
was 14. I had like a pillow on my stomach and that's how I made money. I did QVC,
Yeah.
Westchester.
In Westchester, Pennsylvania.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So I was like needed money, and so I just couldn't be as good of an athlete because I was like eating like 4 raisins a day and
Yeah.
trying to get skinny to make money to model. So
Well,
derailed. Even if had I not,
Yeah.
I don't think I would be, you know.
Who you are.
No, I'm saying no. I don't think I would have been the greatest basketball player of all time.
Right,
think
no,
I
nobody was
probably,
saying that would
Yeah.
happen.
Brittany
Look-
Griner exists.
Looking
Yeah.
back,
Yeah.
the WNBA didn't hit the way I thought it might. But the girls that I went to school with, they all went to like Tennessee and UConn, and like I would like watch them on.
So you played real ball. Yeah. Brittany Griner, by the way, still in Russian custody. Nobody cares.
Russia has great defense.
Yeah, and why are there more feminists going? Why are there more not more feminists upset about this? Because people don't care because she's a WNBA player. If it
So
was
was she stuck in Russia?
she got it was like during the war, and they're like holding her as like a political prisoner.
Can I Google her? What's her name?
Yeah, Brittany Griner.
It's maybe because they're mistaking her for Snoop Dogg.
That's why they may be holding her.
She's famous.
Yeah, she's
okay,
I
it's
mean
WNBA famous.
But
yeah.
she got arrested
That's
there?
like PTA meeting famous.
Yeah,
9.
yeah, she's a big woman.
Wait, she can't get out of Russia?
She can't get out of Russia.
Apparently, she brought in some hash, or they caught her leaving with some hash. So
Okay.
I think they're trying to use her for the war. That's
Dude, I mean, she's like their Ludo.
She's like their Ludo.
She's like their. What's like the person on the team that's like the
mascot.
No, like
That's
the
not good.
person that
I don't want to say
closer.
that. The closer, yeah. I was just searching for a word. I didn't mean that.
Why was that offensive? Oh God.
Yeah, it's just bad.
Mascot?
Yeah, just calling her a mascot's
You
bad.
can't say mascot?
No, I can't call a person a mascot.
Yeah, but if you say it about anyone, you're like, oh,
Yeah,
he's like
he's
our
a
team
mascot.
mascot.
Yeah, the
like just
Lexington
something.
lesbians.
Yeah. Oh God, I was like, Jesus
Yeah.
Christ, mass cotton. I was like, I literally went,
Yeah.
cotton slavery. What just happened?
Yeah.
But like when there's like Andre the Giant, it would be
Yes.
like everyone's fighting and then he shows up and you're like, oh, we're fucked.
Yes,
What's
yeah.
that person in the movie?
Villain.
Like the guy that's like in like in Marvel movies where you're like they're just about to lose and then this motherfucker like
Hero.
Saving
the
grace.
hero, sure,
Yeah.
sure. Like if she just came in,
Jesus.
Yeah.
what's gonna happen? I think everyone wants to know what we think of this war, but like, is this gonna
Nuclear war, hopefully.
what?
This has been long days.
Like what's gonna happen?
I think they're gonna hug, make up, and they're gonna forget about the whole thing. I think it's gonna just be a big, my bad, you know?
Are comedians gonna start running for president?
Yeah. Well,
Now that they
probably.
see?
Yeah, I think that might happen.
There are videos of the Ukrainian president playing a piano with his dick.
Yeah, he was a comedian 1st. Yeah.
I love this guy.
Yeah. I think we're at the point now where it's like a popularity contest.
Do you? Would any comedian? Who's the comedian in our friend group, our echelon, that's going to run for office in our lifetime? No, never.
You.
Never.
Yes.
Never.
You're
Yeah.
the only person I think who could do multiple things at the same time. War in Ukraine. Okay. I also got to put my makeup on. Okay. I got a podcast at 4. Okay. There's hungry people. Flint needs water. You'd be handling it all.
I'm really not
and
that
Emily,
person.
your chief of staff,
I
and
have this-
and your Native American.
I have no-
representative.
Yeah, and Annie Letterman's going to be vice president.
Yeah.
I have no political aspirations whatsoever.
You wouldn't do
Al
it?
Franken was a senator.
He's also a rapist. No,
Someone
it's
asked me about that the
facetious.
other day, and I was
What did he
defending
do?
him.
Took a picture?
I was defending him so hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was defending him so hard. I was like, it was a picture. He was being silly. Who cares? It was really
Yes.
like, and they were like, well, there were like 8 women came forward, and I was like, oh, I didn't know about that.
Oh,
but
I didn't know about that either.
I don't.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just I'm going to stay out of that. But who's going to run for office?
I'm serious. You wouldn't do it?
No.
You can do multiple things at multiple
I don't
times.
want to. I have no desire to.
That's why you're.
I grew up in DC.
a
That is a shit
prime-
show. To me, politics is politics to me is sillier than sports.
But that's why you'd be a prime candidate because you're reluctant, which means you have morals. You don't want the power.
But I don't think I this is really fucked up. But like having growing up in DC, I think it's a quagmire. Like I think it's just a cesspool. I don't think you can really get much done. I'm all about productivity, and I want something to be able to get accomplished.
But if you brought that attitude to DC,
Yeah, I think you
I
can
don't
change the
want-
landscape.
no.
Yeah.
I don't have.
Whitney Cummings for president.
You can tell
Sorry.
the people that have political ambitions in our field.
Yeah,
Like
but you
who?
don't want those.
Like I feel like George Clooney might run for something.
Yeah.
Don't you? Reagan
He's
was,
not in our thing.
I mean, if the
I mean,
guy
he's
can't
not,
sell
no.
Nespressos, he can't run a country.
Yeah.
But the-
You can't sell Nespressos and then run for
Reagan
president.
was
Yeah.
an actor. This has happened before.
happened
The
before,
Trump thing
yes.
is not that weird.
That's a good point.
Clint Eastwood was the governor.
Yeah.
Arnold Schwarzenegger was the governor.
Yes.
This isn't that weird. Roseanne ran for president.
She
Yes.
ruined that with her Twitter.
Hillary was a senator from New York.
This isn't that
She
weird.
was acting like she was from New York.
Yeah.
It's not that weird for an actor to make it into high office. You're
no,
right.
that's what it is.
You're right.
That's all it is.
Yeah. So maybe not a comedian. Maybe it's an actor. Maybe
Like
it's
Sam Harris could run.
Jared Leto.
Like Rich Roll.
Yes.
You know what I mean? These people that are now like, oh, I have.
Josh Peck.
But these people who are.
Yeah.
John Stamos.
But also
Yeah.
these people that now have fame from having podcasts, you know, that are like, oh, I'm pretty good at this, that aren't touring comedians making money other ways. They're like, the next natural step, if someone gets famous off doing Rogan 4 times and now has their own podcast,
Yeah.
Tim Ferriss, he was not Rogan, I know, but these people, that feels like the next natural step for them.
Yeah. Maybe.
It used to be like public service is how you would start.
Yes,
you know what I mean?
now it's a different
law
path.
school. Barack Obama went to law school. You know,
Right.
now it's like I have
Now
this
it's
big
like you
podcast.
do Flavor
I have,
2, then
I
you
have
do- right.
Beto O'Rourke's
Do
biggest
Whitney.
mistake.
Yeah.
Didn't have a podcast.
Didn't do podcast.
Didn't do a
Maybe
podcast.
that's the new rise up.
100.
You do Marin.
100%.
You do Rogan. Then it's like run for president.
Yeah,
So by the way,
eyes on you.
Rogan just had the sub mayor on that's running for in California.
Yeah.
Remember?
No, but I'll say yeah.
I think that's like the thing. I mean, what's the guy that's that everyone gets so upset about? The conservative-y guy that
Alex Jones.
The brother from LA,
tall.
right?
No, I hate when people do this.
Tall?
And I'm doing it. The guy that is he's like an incendiary philosopher. He was on Theo's podcast. He's
Jordan Peterson.
Jordan Peterson.
Yeah. Jordan
I know he's
Peterson.
Canadian, but you're telling me he's not going to run for office?
He might
Ben
run for
Shapiro, you're
president.
telling me he's not going to run for office?
No, he's definitely not.
No.
Well, he's got his own movie business going.
Yeah, he's got
By the
like
way,
a
it's
whole
just my
studio.
goal to be in a Ben Shapiro movie.
I just want to be in a right-wing movie about a school shooter.
I'm kind of obsessed with that. I'm sort of obsessed
I
with
can't
him.
wait for that genre of movies to hit. It's just really funny.
Here's what I will say, because I'm
It's
so
like someone breaks into a house and a housewife has like an AR-15.
I am like so trying to stay out of politics because I just don't think people that aren't qualified to say shit should say shit. And I know that's wild coming from a white woman, but if you just get your ego out of it, because right now, I mean, politics is like teams. It's Cowboys versus the team from Washington or what. It's all just teams. If you step away, if you're really participating in politics and like really believe and care, you are missing how fucking hilarious it is.
Yes.
You're missing that there's no more if you can get your ego out of it and if you can get your self-righteous indignation out of it, like it's so funny.
Yes.
If you can watch it without having skin in the game.
Yeah. Well, that's why it's good to be a comedian because you're outside of it. A lot of comedians are in it now when they should really be outside and make fun of both.
Yeah.
You should be able to make fun of both, everything. You shouldn't only have to be left wing or right wing. Make fun of both.
Everyone
It's
can
not
catch
Ben
these hands.
Shapiro or Netflix. It's both.
Ben Shapiro, I like it. Also, I
He's
like
fucking
listening
printing money.
I like listening to people that I don't agree with.
Yeah, me too.
It's that to me is an interesting
I'm
conversation.
married. I do it every day.
By the way, how long? Can I just ask you a couple questions about your marriage?
Sure.
How long have you been married?
We've been married for 3 years.
That's all?
That's it. We've been together 8, but we've been married 3. Yeah, I had to wait for her to grow
Turn
up.
21?
Yeah.
How come I haven't met your wife?
I don't know. You say that like
I'm just curious. I guess we don't. We just. It's been the pandemic, and she
Well,
doesn't
yeah,
come out
I've
here.
only been
She has
here.
to. You can't leave the kid.
you'd
Yeah.
have to come to my house.
Yeah, I want to. When I come and shoot my
I
special,
want you to come up to the house.
I'm shooting my special in New Jersey, Newark, New Jersey, May 13th and 14th.
Absolutely.
Remember,
We're
I
gonna
asked
hang.
you
Perfect.
last
Look.
time I was in Montclair. I asked you to come hang, and
Yes,
you couldn't.
I couldn't do it, but we will. I'd love to hang with you on the East Coast.
We didn't finish. Okay, so epigenetic imprinting, the chemicals that your host emits while you are in utero, you become addicted to as the offspring. So if, like crack baby 101, if your mother's doing drugs, you're going to be born addicted to drugs. Opioid baby. If your mother is
Was
in
your
utero,
mother an adrenaline junkie?
fighting in a bad marriage,
Yeah.
stressed out, producing a lot of cortisol, you're going to be born
Whitney Cummings.
addicted to adrenaline, cortisol, and you're going to subconsciously seek out dramatic situations, put yourself in stressful situations to get that homeostasis of the equilibrium, the neurochemical equilibrium.
Yes. All right. Look. You got to go. 7.
Was this good? I feel like this was.
It's always good with you.
I don't know. I feel
think
like
it was
It was good.
It was good.
Yeah.
I was just invited to Machine Gun Kelly's birthday party.
And you're going. All right. That's it.
I love you. I hope
Thank
this was
you. I love you.
okay.
It
Am I
was
going to get
great.
killed by your fans?
No, you're
No,
not.
it's great.
You're not going to get killed by
I feel like it
fans.
wasn't funny enough.
You know, people who comment, that's like 1% of the people that listen to
I
anything.
know, but I feel like we should have been funnier. But your fans are smart. They want like smart
Yeah, I
stuff.
think we did a little bit of everything. I think we gave him a potpourri.
Yeah, we dipped in there.
Yeah.
And I didn't. Do you have like a going Amber Heard thread? Did
No,
I just
no,
shit
I
on?
just was- no.
Shit, did I sh-
Shit, pun intended.
yeah, I just feel like when people that rich are mad about anything, the shit in the bed is the least of my issues.
Yeah.
They're like, well, and she took the London townhouse that was $8 million. Did you pay for that? Like, I get enraged by the things that no one else gets enraged by.
Yeah, I
and the
just-
shit in the bed, I'm like, who cares?
It just seems like
Seems like an honest mistake.
everyone seems to be on his side now, but she hasn't had her turn to talk. And now like everyone's waiting for her turn. What's she going to say? What did Johnny do? I want to know what Johnny did.
Also, when two people that get awards for lying
You can't trust
It's
either
hard.
one of them.
go
yeah.
to court,
Yeah.
It's hard.
It's a performance,
we
maybe.
pay these people millions of dollars to hoodwink us.
Yes.
And now we're going to
Take their
believe
word
them?
for it?
Yeah. Like,
yeah.
I don't think actors should be allowed to testify in court.
Right. They should both be banished.
It's actually their job to con us
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
each other.
Yeah.
These are not people that we
No.
should trust on any level
No.
ever.
It's a $50 million
Imagine
fight.
being on a jury where Johnny Depp is telling you a story. And you're
Yeah.
like, do you believe him? It's like, fucking Johnny. Like,
He's
it's
a good actor.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah.
I mean, even if he was lying, how would we know?
You wouldn't know.
Have you seen The Crying Game?
Yes.
So we have to find people who don't know who he is.
You know what's funny?
Yes, which-
It's actually ultimately an acting competition, isn't it?
Kind of,
Who's
yeah.
the better actor, Amber or Johnny?
Yeah, don't
Yes.
reward him alimony. Give him an Oscar.
Yeah,
Yes.
truly.
Yeah.
It feels like a performance almost. But yeah, they have to find people who don't know who they are, right?
Or else there's going to be
So
calling
where
out an
is the
actor's name.
trial? Like in the Appalachian Mountains?
If I'm
In West
Amber
Virginia?
Heard, if
on an
I'm a
Indian
gold digger,
reservation.
I'm
Yeah.
not going to date a really good actor.
Did you just call Amber Heard a gold digger?
No, you know what I mean.
Yeah, I think you meant Amber Heard.
I didn't. I don't. I
Hot
just
take, hot take.
to me, I don't believe you are entitled to any of your husband's money that was made before you were with him.
You heard that from feminist?
I do
Fuck
not
that.
believe. I don't believe it.
I
I think
agree
it
with you.
hurts. It hurts everybody. It's unnecessary. Like, you know,
I agree.
Period. The end.
Yeah.
So I just watched The Dirty John with Amanda Peet. Amanda Peet's performance in the new Dirty John. That's about Betty someone. She was the woman that basically started the conversation about if you and I are married when we're 22 and you go to law school and med school and I waitress and hustle and babysit to help pay for your law school and med school and we're together for 20 years,
Yep.
you become a very rich lawyer for medical malpractice because you have 2 degrees that I helped pay for and raised 4 of your children so that you can go become a billionaire. I deserve some of that money.
Betty Broderick.
Betty Broderick. That's fucking interesting and true. That's what
Cooper Cup.
that's what Basic Instinct, Michael Douglas's wife that was with him during Wall Street 1, when Wolf of Wall Street came out, or I
Yeah.
think it was, she said, well, I was with him, well, I get some of that. And she won. It's a California law.
Yeah.
So it's like that emotional support, it counts as work or whatever. Because and she was like, I paid for his law school. I paid for like,
Yeah, but that gets like into very subjective
it's
territory,
very tricky.
right?
It's very
Yeah,
tricky.
it's like-
And I'm not saying I know the answer, but
Yeah.
this was me watching the show because I was like, I get it. It's like she
Yeah.
has nothing and he left her for a 22-year-old and she had given her entire life. She could have gone to law school. She
Yeah.
was brilliant. She had to represent herself in court. She knew so much about the law because she helped him through law school. She wrote all his papers and stuff that she represented herself in court.
Yes.
You know, it's like kind of an amazing story. And he left her for a 22-year-old receptionist and she was left with no money. And he knew the legal system so well and he made it so he accused her of molesting the kid and she didn't know about it. So she lost everything and had to go to like a loony bin basically for being old.
Right. So have you heard from my lawyer? I saved your life and I...
Jay Davis? What's his name?
Yes, Jay Davis.
What is it?
And I saved your life during that dogfight. So all your earnings from this point on...
Please. I just think
7%.
any woman that is like, I married a rich guy that's been rich for 50 years and I'm going to take money that came in before I was 10 is just like, you're hurting everyone.
Yeah.
Just stop.
You hear that?
Go
Tiger
make
Woods'
money other-
ex-wife,
there's-
give it back.
Go, Lauren. Dude, Lauren Sanchez did it right.
Who's she?
Bezos.
Oh.
She's like, I'm going to just stay in shape.
Yes.
I look amazing. I know what to do. I'm not going to take you to court. I'm just, whatever she's doing. There's,
Right.
if
you want to buy me a few things, that's
there's
cool
there's
too.
guys
Yeah.
who want a woman
Yeah.
that is going to obsess over them and spend their money. Some guys want that.
Yes.
And there's women that want that lifestyle. There's men that want women that want that lifestyle.
Right.
And you can find each other. There's a way to do it
Right.
that is copacetic and synergy. It's called synergy. It's called
Right.
teamwork.
Right.
But Amber Heard came in and was like trying to play it different. It's like, no, you're 25 and gorgeous. You can go make money a million other ways.
Right.
Uh,
Don't hit the horse, Whitney.
And do you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yes.
what is this trudging? And then the only problem, I go into like, oh, this feels like a mental illness that I'm not qualified to speak on. Because why would anyone want to do that?
I think you're making a very good point.
And you guys are actors. Act like you know how to resolve this.
Yeah, just figure it out, guys.
Yeah, that's a very
Figure
good
it out,
point.
or please continue to do it on TV because it's very
You
entertaining.
acted like a man that flew through the air that was blue. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Can you act?
Have
like-
this litigation as your
Yeah,
as your
can you
characters.
act like you can resolve this issue?
Yeah, yeah.
Like you've acted way weirder things. You've acted like a pirate for 3 years. You can't act like, you know what I mean?
One lawyer said, well, why didn't you leave if she was so beautiful? He goes, well, because my mother didn't, because my father didn't leave. And like, guy, you know, what are you blaming your parents? You're a 60-year-old former actor.
Well, he
I
should
say
go, I'm
former 'cause he
famous.
lost
If
all-
I leave, I get paparazzi. What do you
yeah,
mean?
just be honest. Be like, I can't leave because I was dumb enough to marry her. Now I got to give her all this fucking
I
money.
can't leave.
Has nothing to do with your father.
Okay, I'm Johnny Depp. Walk me through that, Judge, sir. Who's
Wait,
it?
you're
Steve
Johnny
Harvey?
Depp?
Who's the judge?
Yeah,
You're
Judge
Johnny,
Harvey.
here's some opiates.
Okay, thank you.
You did say you were Johnny Depp,
Steve
right?
Harvey.
Yeah.
If I leave,
Why did you look at him when you said Steve Harvey? I just
I don't,
wanna-
because of the every 6 seconds I have to look at it.
Good. Now you getting it.
So, because if I leave her, I'm going to go where? Soho House, whatever.
Right.
And then some other fucking hot blonde girl is going to do the same thing. I'm going to do the same thing over again.
Right. Right.
It's going to keep, I'm a billionaire rich man who
Right.
loves young women. This is how things go for me.
Right. Johnny, what did you think was going to happen?
I
You
didn't
married
think...
a woman with a headshot who's an actor.
Sure.
She's like 25 years younger than you.
Yeah. But she has dimples.
Yeah, she's smoking hot.
I don't.
dimples.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't. It's honest. I did not think there'd be fecal matter in my bed.
Well, that's what he's claiming. But if
Older
she
guys
has-
don't like shit. Younger guys don't care.
I know, Johnny, get with it,
Older
dude.
guys do not like butthole stuff. They don't like shit. They don't like any of that. They don't
It's
like
true.
pee.
It's true.
Younger guys
Are into it.
I think if you're dating a younger woman, you better be ready for shit. Their assholes are loose. They
Younger
did-
women don't care about the thread count you got on your bed.
No.
You know?
They were having butt sex at 13 now.
Yeah, they do.
Their sphincters are all over the place.
Yeah, no. When you get older, you're not in any of the fecal matter, pee.
Because if you're shitting on a bed, you
Yeah.
also pee a little too. You can't pee and not. Is it what like? Yeah, there's no way to really for her to shit
without peeing a little bit.
without peeing a little bit. It could have been they had anal sex, and I mean,
That's happened to me.
a lot of
Yeah.
girls I know shit their pants more than I understood. It's
It
a pretty
happens.
common thing.
Yeah, it happens.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's the new oat milk thing.
Yeah, it may not have been
Yeah.
an intentional shitting on the bed.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
does she drink oat milk? What is her Starbucks?
And
order?
also, Johnny Depp was like very addicted to drugs during this. So who's to say that?
did he say that?
Yes, he had.
But that doesn't mean.
But I'm just saying, was that not his shit? I mean, how many people get fucked up and then shit the bed?
Where are all these cleaning ladies? Like, where are all the ring cameras?
Yes.
Where are all the? Also, if you're both talking about this, you're both trash.
Right.
So to me, if you and I are together for whatever 5 years,
Yeah.
money spats, no matter how dirty you do me, I'm not bringing up the shit in the bed.
because it's just like whatever.
That's just, you know what I mean? That's between us. That
Yeah.
makes everyone look bad.
Right.
The fact that you're like bringing this up means like you don't have self-respect. You don't have respect for you. Like y'all are just pigs.
Yeah. Right.
Have a modicum as someone that had to like testify
Yeah.
in divorce proceedings and saw a lot of nasty shit in a divorce. There's
Yeah.
some stuff you just don't bring in.
That's
Did
below
you
the
have to
belt.
testify in a divorce?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, I was like, grew up in a pretty acrimonious divorce, like being taken from house to house. And there's
Oh.
certain things where you're like, you know what? That has no place in a courtroom in front of a judge. This guy's wearing a dress. Don't talk about the shit in the bed.
Right.
There's plenty of stuff beside the shit in the bed. It feels
Yeah.
like low hanging fruit.
Right. Right.
Do you know what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying.
Dingleberries.
I
yes.
don't like
Yeah.
either of you.
Right.
I don't
Right.
like either of you now.
Right.
Both of you lost me.
Right. If someone's shitting in the bed, I don't want.
Here's what I will say.
Yes.
If a woman shits in your bed, there's no way there weren't a couple red flag. That doesn't come out of nowhere.
Right.
That doesn't.
Right.
You have a part in this.
Right.
If you have this feral animal that's just shitting, if she is that disrespectful,
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, if someone.
There's
That
signs.
is a
That's
level-
a good
She
point.
was
That
Uber
doesn't
eating
come out of
Taco Bell.
nowhere.
You've
There's some
seen
signs.
she
Yeah.
didn't tip the wait staff.
Yeah.
She was rude to
Yeah.
valets. Like no one just shits in a bed out of nowhere.
Yeah, out of nowhere. It's there's a building. You build
there
to
were
it.
signs.
Yes,
There
yes.
there was other disrespectful behavior. She didn't
Yes.
say hi to your cleaning lady.
Yes, yes.
She doesn't wash her hands.
Yes.
There's other shit going on.
Yes. Yes. So,
You do not seem like the victim here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you made your choice to marry her, Johnny.
And why? What is the obsession with marrying? What,
Yeah.
get a ring, have a party. Why do you have to sign all this shit?
Yeah, you don't have
Yeah.
to.
Yeah. You got to deal with it. Pray for rain. You
It's
got to deal with
amazing
the
to
mud.
me that
Literally.
you know what it makes me think? I'm like, hey, actors, have you ever seen any movies that you're not in? Because
Right.
most of them are about this issue.
Right.
It makes me think that you guys are so narcissistic and insecure you can't watch any movie you're not in because most of them are about bad marriages and divorces.
Kramer versus Kramer.
Watch a movie.
Yeah.
Watch any movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Batman, the
You
Dark
think you're the one
Dark
that's
Knight.
yeah. Read any news about any other side. Like it's just wild to me.
Yeah, white man can't jump.
But I also think that
Every
actors,
movie's about divorce.
really great actors, the hot take, are I think deeply infantile
Uh-huh.
and impish and naive.
Uh-huh.
in a way that serves them as actors and doesn't serve them in life. And I think that what we just saw happen with Will Smith, I did look at you.
Hollywood's 9/11.
Who said that? Nikki told me that someone was saying
I said that.
Was
yeah.
that you?
Yeah, it was me. Yeah.
And like
It's
that.
good to know she's watching my Instagrams still.
Who?
Nikki. You
Oh,
said Nikki told you that.
I'm sorry, you said Instagrams plural, and
sorry,
it was
yeah.
just the oldest thing
That's what you
I've
should get
ever
upset
heard.
at me
Yeah,
for.
yeah.
I just appropriated your culture.
I'll correct that. I'm sorry.
I do have
Pops.
to go soon.
It's
Yeah.
moms, pops, and Instagrams.
Yeah. Apostrophe
Should
was
I
wrong.
ask him? Can you drive me?
Yeah. Let's wrap
with
this
me?
up. How long has this been going?
I'm just saying.
How long?
2 hours.
I do think
Wow.
we're going to see. Well, please tell me we're going to cut some of this. I do think that what we just saw happen with Will Smith, not defending whatever, is like just because people are rich doesn't. There's a type of mental. I don't think people are designed to be that famous.
I
And
agree.
We're not. There are no mirrors in nature. We're
Yeah.
not designed to see ourselves.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, ponds, ice, come for me.
Yeah. That's profound, actually.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
There is an end to up.
no, and
You
I
have
think
too
that when,
much.
I think when these people signed up to be famous, it was you're going to get all the adulation and accolades without the negative feedback. Like no one signed up for this whole. It used to be like love you, and then someone talks shit about you at the water cooler in their car somewhere out. No one heard the negativity before.
Right.
We're
Now the
trained for
internet.
it.
They signed up for universal love,
Too
Right.
saturated in the positivity. Yeah.
good news only,
Mm-hmm.
and now all of a sudden it's Will Smith. It's like you're gay, your marriage sucks, you have an open marriage. Like you used to be able to keep. They signed up for fame when you could have secrents,
Right. Right.
You know,
Right.
and now it's just sort of like
They're seeing the YouTube comments.
yes, and
Yes.
they've been so protected and coddled for 30 years, had no discomfort whatsoever, and now I think that we're going to see more and more of famous people snapping.
That'll be fun, though.
Dude, finally, famous people are going to be
Finally,
entertaining
yeah,
again. We're
finally.
seeing like the wheels are falling off the wagon.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because that was like the most talked about Oscars. So maybe next time someone will get shot there.
Yeah.
And that'll be the only
Mahershala
way to
Ali is
work.
going to shoot somebody in the
Yeah,
Starbucks when they
who
write his
knows?
name wrong on his cup.
Yeah. Or somebody will shit on somebody.
We should leave now.
All right. That's it. This was fun. Thank you, Whitney.
I hope this was
Thank you,
good.
Whitney.
Don't
it
be
was
mad at me,
very
you guys.
good. Only positive comments only.
No, don't. Negative ones are good. They make me stronger.
They
I
make
can
her
handle
stronger.
it.
She's strong.
I can handle it.
And if you marry Whitney, she will not take your money. She has her own.
It's been a long